It was a beautiful sunny day, and yeah, it was a lot of back and forth, but I think a lot of new faces, like Andrew Johnston hit his home run, which was a towering blast. They were the defending champions. You know, it's the first time they were, back in our ballpark in the regular season as defending champions. There's certainly that natural rivalry. We all want to be the best, but the fans get into it, and then the fans are traveling because it's not a far drive. So whenever we do have Welland in, it's always a good night for us. Their fans like to party. They come in, they occupy typically the visitors' bleachers, and yeah, it's always a good crowd when Welland's there. But yeah, I'm glad that the guys enjoyed it. It was a big victory for us.
You need to know in this league, man, 8-0, it still can make you anxious because Welland's a very highly offensive, potent team. They're the champs for a reason. You need to continue to stomp on them. You cannot let up, okay? Ever. Against anybody. That's the thing. In this league, against anybody, you cannot even let up for a hitter almost.
8-0, who gives a shit? Today, Guelph won 27-6. Like, yeah, 27-6. You do not let teams back in this lead. 8-run lead went away like this, and then we had to go back and forth.
It's such a grind sometimes when you play these teams because anything could happen, especially with some of the ballparks that we play at. Kitchener, Toronto, I know Chatham's got a small ballpark. Like, things can change quickly. They did today, but we showed like what type of team we are. I know this is the second game of the year, but we really came together and really buckled them, all right? We came back and we really came on strong again, which I think shows what type of team we are.
Welland came in here to play us, and being a defending champs and all that, they have a target on their back, and we kind of were up for the challenge, and they came in here, we beat them, so I think that was a really good test for a new group especially. So I think that was kind of our biggest eye opener, was saying, hey, like, we're a legit team here and a top contender as well as these guys. So.
Whoa, Marriott clubs it deep into right field. That's gone. First pitch is lined into left field just past the glove of Noah Hall. Malik Williams comes up with it. The throw coming in is not in time. 2-run score.
We came out looking good. And so I know we had a couple high-scoring games, and we were like, wow, our offense looks, great, putting up good numbers on good teams. I think we kind of set the tone early of like, hey, the Cardinals are once again looking good and better, right?
I know we were leading the league in like a lot of hitting stats, pitching stats, all that. So I think at that time, we were the team to beat for sure.
Aggressive base running yet again by the Cardinals. It is 8-1 in the 6th. Will deliver. DeBanning's on his way to third. Rappel flares it into center field. Tie ball game.
And I've always been a big believer that hitting's contagious. I mean, if you look in the stat books at those games too, we're almost in double digits hitting each time. Once you start going, you just keep rolling.
Big dogs, only.
Oh boy, Daly took that one heavy. That is that's a tough kid right there. Yep. Wow. He's going to stay in this ball game as he'll head down to first. I can't believe he's staying in the game, Neil. Harrington delivers. Bernardo sends it into right. That's going to bounce down. And it's a wave around coming home. And Daly is safe.
I think it was like the eagerness to play again. Like, I think everybody had like that drive. There was a different type of spark to be on the field. I wasn't playing much because I was coming off my injury, but it was like I was so excited to get back because of how well we were playing and like how everybody was gelling together, and like the way we were swinging the bats was amazing. It was like, it almost felt like, I mean, a bunch of us in the bullpen were like, it felt like we couldn't lose. Like, even when we lost, it felt like it didn't feel like a loss.
Let's go!
This one is rocked to right field. High, deep, and gone. That might have caught a piece of the scoreboard on the way by. 2-run homer. Cardinals up by 9.
And so May was exciting for us. I think we, rolled through a couple good teams and had some great games, great pitching, great offense, and we put a lot of things together at that time, and it was looking really good.
We were coming out of the gate like really hot and playing really good baseball, but it's tough to sustain. It's such a competitive league. Baseball's a long season, right? A lot of ups and downs, but yeah, hopefully we just have more ups than the downs.
Do you have feedback on Cable 14's programs? Let us know by calling 905-523-1414, extension 227, or email feedback@cable14.com.
Right? So that's why it's, we want you guys to come back stronger, smarter, so we can really give this thing a shot.
You see Owen Boone with the Cardinals belt here. Man, I love that thing. That is really nice and really well-deserved.
Recipient of the 2024 Bernie Morelli Lifetime Achievement Award is Leslie Lasky.
After a day out with your friends and it comes time to hit the road, you can be proud of yourself for always driving sober. No matter where you are or who you're spending time with, if you plan on driving, don't plan on drinking. We rely on our roads to bring us together. That's why it's so important to do our part to keep our communities safe. Help stop impaired driving before it happens. Every day, everywhere, because all roads lead to home. A message from Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
The following is a C14 Sports presentation.
Sunday Night Baseball is live here on Cable 14. Neil Sharaswa, Matt Creedy in the booth with you tonight. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers is the opponent for the Hamilton Cardinals this evening. And Matt, both teams are looking for a weekend sweep. Somebody's going to have to give here.
Yeah, Neil, baseball is a zero-sum game, and somebody's going to be going home unhappy tonight. The Barnstormers 2-0 this weekend, entering action here today. The Cardinals 1-0 after their win on Friday night. We'll see who breaks the tie tonight.
Of course, the Cardinals sending out Freitas Agamas on the hill, his second start of the season. His first start was a little shortened because of a blister issue, but looks like he's ready to roll tonight.
Yeah, Dom is the former Brewers prospect, making his first appearance here at Bernie Arbor of his IBL career.
The crowd is boisterous as always on a Sunday afternoon. Well, actually, it's a Sunday evening today, and they're ready to roll here now.
Yeah, the slightly unusual Sunday evening start time. This game was originally scheduled for a couple Fridays ago. The monsoon that was at the end of May, necessitating the rescheduling, and then the Chatham Travel Logistics forced this one to be a Sunday night start.
Which makes sense.
And even with the unusual start time, Neil, Chatham is ready. I've never seen this before, but they've got the first 5 hitters in their lineup.
Ready to go.
Ready, standing outside the dugout, all in line, doing their practice swings.
Well, Evan Morris will lead things off for the Chatham-Kent. Robert Mackey is batting second. Torrin Vasilinek is batting third. Yoshin Okada is batting fourth in the catcher spot tonight. Timmy Wagner is the DH. Braxton Haggett, Trent Sillett, Spencer Morin, and Lee Casera, the Flash, is batting ninth for these Barnstormers. Almost come with the Jackfish, jeez. What game was I watching this afternoon?
I wonder.
But Evan Morris last night, 5 for 5 in the contest, 2 RBIs, a home run. He hit the first pitch he saw last night, right in front of Fergie Jenkins last night. Of course, the Barnstormers last night retiring Ferguson Jenkins' number officially at his stadium. Number 31 will hang forever down the right field line and retired. And we got the old typical base flipperoo here.
Yeah, for the second game in a row, the bases are being replaced here. Near first pitch at Bernie Arbor. Tyler Duncan stepped on third in Friday night's game in the first inning, and it popped right out of the bag.
I thought it popped. Like,
right out of the slot, yeah.
Like I thought the bag popped, and I guess you guys realized, oh, these are the practice bases. We don't want these for the games. Maybe we should just put the gamers out there from now on.
We're trying to get ahead of it this time.
Yeah. We don't want anybody blowing a tire, that's for sure.
No.
So the defense for the Cardinals this evening in left field, we got Nico Katos. In center field, Tyler Duncan. Yoki Pena in right. Jaden Brown's at third base. Brendan Nickel at shortstop. Tommy Reyes-Cruz at second base. Tanner Rempel is at first. And July Vittini, Mr. 7-Eleven, is behind the plate for Phrases Adamas.
Adamas, 28 years old. He spent 5 years in the Milwaukee Brewers system. Pitched between rookie ball and high A. His last foray into independent ball in North America, he pitched for Sussex County in the Frontier League in the summer of 2023. He had a 4.47 ERA in 54 innings there. So pitching in North America independently is nothing new.
Nope. As the bases are getting replaced, last one in there is the second base, which, you know, got to make sure we got that one in there.
Yeah, no base left behind.
Yep. All right, ready to go finally. Baseball will happen momentarily here. So Adamas does a couple more kick flips out there. Knee bends, whatever, lunges, and he looks in for the sign from Vittini. First pitch is fouled away by Morrison. He loves to jump on that first pitch, as that was very evident last night. He hacked one outside the top. I thought it was over the zone, but he hacked it over the fence.
A leadoff home run by Morrison set the tone. The Barnstormers dropped 14 runs last night.
That they did, and Morrison hits a grounder to the shortstop. Nickel up with it, throw to first in time. The Rempel one away here to start the ball game. 6-3 should put it. That'll bring up Robert Mackey, the second baseman tonight.
Adamas in his IBL debut last Saturday at the Barrie Baycats, like you said, Neil, was cut slightly short by that blister, but no harm done. He went 4 innings, struck out 7, gave up just the 1 earned run. And the Cardinals bullpen helped him shut it down for a 2-1 victory.
Very intense ball game. Of course, that was a very intense weekend against the Barrie Baycats last weekend. Cardinals taking both games. As Mackey works with a 1-0 count from Adamas. That one's in there for a strike, and the count quickly 0-2. Adamas pounding the zone once again. It's the same thing we saw last Saturday. Had 7 strikeouts in that contest, allowed 1 run, it's earned, and had a walk. That one misses upstairs on Mackey. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's not often you say this about players' heights being listed, but Adamas is posted as 6'3" on Baseball Reference. I think they might be a few inches short.
Just a little. Looks a lot taller.
Imposing presence on the mound.
Mackey hits this one into center field. Duncan will take a few steps to his left and milk the catch. And there's 2 away here. Gonna bring up Torin Veselenik, the third baseman tonight.
Stepping up to the plate, third base, number 5, Torin.
Hopefully we get the gold star from the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers fans, because I got Veselenik right. I know last year was a contention with all the different chats through YouTube and everything else. People were frankly concerned we were saying Torin's last name wrong.
Yeah, this is a guy whose last name I heard pronounced many different ways in 2024.
Veselenik fouls off the first one here for a strike. Count 0-1. 2 away here in the top of the first inning, just underway here at Bernie Arbor Stadium.
Torin, a product of Alberta. He's a true jack-of-all-trades guy. He's pitched 2/3 of an inning in relief as well this year, in addition to his third base duties.
Big swing and a miss on an offering from Adamas. Behind the count now, 0-2, is Veselenik. Yoshin Ohata waiting on deck should the inning continue. Getting the start tonight for Masuki Fukuda instead. Fukuda getting a well-deserved night off. Strike 3 call. Veselenik goes down looking. Adamas gets the punch out. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning here to start the contest. As we'll flip the page over and introduce the starting pitcher for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, number 16, Yuri O'Connor.
Yeah, it looks like the Barnstormers are going to be going with a opener approach here tonight. Word is that Brock Whitson will be on for a bulk outing in relief at some point in this game, but for now it's Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama starting tonight's contest. Yokoyama, 23-year-old out of Montreal. He's half Canadian, half Japanese, as the last name implies. The big lefty speaks English, Japanese, and French. So he's the de facto translator of the IBL.
And he was very, very helpful a couple weeks ago when we were trying to get everything out for Miss Sato, Miss Sato in everything else, her big debut. We wanted to make sure we didn't, make sure we had the right connotations and everything else, and proper spelling and just the verbiage and everything else, because English to Japanese, it doesn't translate 100% over.
No.
We'll take a quick look at the Cardinals starting lineup as well here. Tyler Duncan will lead off in center field. Brandon Nickel is batting second at shortstop. Jonathan Salazzo gets the night off from the infield, but he is on the DH spot batting third. Nico Kakatos is batting fourth in left field. Jaden Brown plays third base tonight, batting 5. Yuki Pena is batting 6 in right field. July Vittini is the catcher tonight. Tommy Reyes Cruz is batting 8th. And Tanner Rempel in the 9 spot tonight is at first base.
Yeah, we talked on Friday, Neil, about how the Cardinals have struggled to find a consistent leadoff man. They've been kind of playing plug and play at that position of the batting order, and it was Tyler Duncan's turn on Friday, and, well, 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and a homer. He's going to get another shot at it today.
Yeah. You got to keep the spot till you get knocked out of the spot. So right now, Duncan's in that spot.
Yeah, similar-looking lineup tonight for the Cardinals. The difference, of course, being that Kakatos is filing in as a starter instead of a pinch hitter for Pena down the line. It'll be a different look on the mound, though, compared to the hard-throwing righty that they saw of the Kitchener Panthers, Andy Vargas, on Friday night. Yokoyama, more of a finesse guy.
Yep.
In 5 appearances and 1 start this year, Yuri, in 9 1/3 innings, has a 1.92 ERA, but only 5 strikeouts to 7 walks, so trouble finding the zone at times.
So more of a ground ball hitter, more of a fly ball hitter.
Yeah.
Than a strikeout guy, so that's all right. Some nights we got to make some solid contact anyways.
There's more than one way to pitch.
There is.
Tyler trying to pick up right where he left off on Friday.
Up the average to 227 on the year now, 1 home run. And 4 RBIs. He swings and misses at the first offering from Yokohama.
And the fact that 4 hits in an early season contest raised his average to just 227 gives you an idea of how little they were falling for Duncan in the first 4 games of the season.
Duncan hits this one to left field. Left fielder backpedaling. He's still going back, and that is off the top of the fence. Off the UBC built sign. Duncan's in there with a sliding double. Cardinals got the leadoff man aboard here to start the first inning.
On Friday night, we saw Tyler Duncan give one a ride over the Little Caesar sign for a home run to the pole side, and that time he was just a matter of inches away from going oppo.
And the wind blowing out to right field didn't help things, so that probably kept the ball in the yard here. And Brandon Nickel will be the batter now.
Left fielder Braxton Haggith giving chase, having to play that one off the wall, but Duncan going ambush tactics. First pitch and another extra base hit. Tyler has gone from down on his luck to scorching hot in a matter of hours.
Well, that's what he does usually, though. This is nothing new for Tyler Duncan. Once he gets hot, it's hard to keep him not being hot. Nickel takes ball 1, count 1-0 here. Thank you so much for tuning in on Cable 14 this evening. It's going to take a while to say Sunday night baseball here.
Yeah. Gives an important air to this game.
Yes. It's not a playoff game, so, it's just the first Sunday night baseball game we've had in quite some years here. That one misses upstairs. Count is 2-0.
Yokoyama, as you can see, he's got that overhand arm slot standing toward the third base side of the mound. He's got a fastball, a curveball with 12-6 break, and a changeup with a decent amount of drop to it.
That one misses outside again from the plate umpire Justin Snively. Count 3-0 on Nickel. The conductor Jonathan Salazzo winning the wings here. .30 offering is in there for a called strike on Nickel. Count now 3-1. We're the only game in town. We're also the only game in the IBL right now. Everybody else played this afternoon, so we'll have a quick look at the scoreboard at the half inning. That one misses low. Snively takes the walk. Or says the plate umpire says that's ball 4. And Nickel will take the walk. My correction. And now to bring up the conductor, Jonathan Salazzo. 2 on, nobody away here to start the home half of the first inning.
I admire Yokoyama's attempt to go breaking ball on 3-1 there, but to no avail. Nickel taking down and in. I also like the idea of giving Salazzo the start at DH tonight. We know how talented of a third baseman he is, but Friday wasn't his best night defensively. Let him get focused on getting his time right with the bat, and hope everything else will follow.
Salazzo with the big hack on that first offering. For strike one. Salazzo 6 for 24 on the season, batting .250, 1 home run, 1 RBI so far. Would love the cash one in here. Big swing and a miss by Salazzo. Count now 0-2.
And there you see the effect that the movement on Yokoyama's curveball has when he gets ahead in the count and he's able to expand the zone to those lefties. Of course, it's such a tough matchup, lefty hitter versus lefty pitcher, and Salazzo went fishing and came up empty that time.
That one's a call. Strike three. Salazzo goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Nico Kakatos will be the batter now.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 10, Nico Kakatos.
To say Nico has been a revelation for these Cardinals would be an understatement. He's hitting .438 on the season now, and after Friday night, he is 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter on the season. He can use all fields, can go the other way. The former standout at the University of Toronto and the WCBL, making noise here early on in his IBL tenure.
Former OUA Player of the Year.
Correct. Nico's been on both sides of the WCBL too. A few summers ago he played for Fort McMurray in northern Alberta, and last summer he was situated in Weyburn, Saskatchewan.
Nice.
355 hitter and 50 career games at that level.
That one misses low again. Count 2-0 in his favor.
So between the university and summer collegiate level, Nico had seen just about everything that, you know, post-high school baseball in Canada has to offer except the IBL. Till now.
And now he's here. I definitely got to make a plan to go out west and take in that league at some point.
Well, we got to see where the pipeline's coming from, right?
Well, exactly.
Pretty much every team in this league, you look up and down the roster, every team's got at least one guy who's come from out there. Nico, of course, a Toronto product, but still has... They do get a lot of guys from the eastern half of the country to play summer ball out there, too.
Playing umpire Snively calls that one a strike. Count now 3-1 on Nico. Jaden Brown waiting on deck. Looking for an opportunity to come in here and cash in some runs. 3-1 offering on its way. Driven to center field, not that deep. It is still backpedaling, though. Casero will make the catch. Duncan will tag and head to third. And it's now first and third with 2 away now for Jaden Brown.
Nothing much to complain about for Kakatos. That AB, a little bit of tough luck. He got a 3-1 elevated fastball, and he put a decent charge into it, but hit it to the wrong part of the ballpark. Pretty much right at center fielder Lee Casera.
It's great to see the flashback in the lineup for the Barnstormers. You had a great first year last year. A lot of highlight reel catches, if I seem to remember that.
Yeah, you could put a solid jolt into a wall, but if you hit it out his way,
yep,
you best be careful.
Runner goes on the pitch to throw down to second. They're going to cut it off in front of the mound. Nickel will get the stolen base. Runners now at second and third, and a 1-0 count on Brown.
Yeah, that's fundamentals 101 there by the Barnstormers, making sure that the decoy steal of second doesn't distract them from Duncan at third.
And plus the infield is in position in case Duncan did break home.
Exactly. The stakes have now increased for Brown.
Singles should score 2 easily. So he takes that one inside and count 2-0.
Brown's timing hasn't always been there this year, and he's yet to get a clutch hit in a big spot. Of course, this would change things if he manages to do so here, but he's done nothing but hit the ball hard all season.
It just sounds differently when he hits it. That one's in there for a strike. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away here. Home half of the first inning and a scoreless tie.
Yokoyama clearly knows that too. He's trying to work inside on Jaden, make sure he stays uncomfortable, can't get his lightning quick hands extended to anything.
That one's outside, but called a strike, evens the count at 2-2. Crazy twos, as the kids used to say. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. I don't have a hat to turn backwards, so.
2 on, 2 in scoring position. Keep going. If only it was the second inning.
2-2 pitch is in the dirt, but a great stop by the catcher, Ohata, to keep it in front of him and prevent the run from coming home.
Yushin Ota, an outfielder by trade, but like you said, filling in for his countryman and catching duties tonight. Mitsuki Fukuda does deserve a day off.
I'm sure he'll get in the lineup at some point if the Barnstormers need him, though. Three-two offering on its way momentarily here. That one misses upstairs. Brown draws the walk. Bases will be loaded now for Yoki Pena. I'm gonna have to translate this song one of these days.
It's a good one. It's been stuck in my head since Friday.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm gonna have to translate it just so I can understand what's going on in the song.
It's one of the joys of the IBL. The Latin imports always bring such eclectic walk-up songs to the table.
It's usually so energetic too. So it's just like, okay, cool. It's got a good beat to it. All right. I think I was making French toast this morning. Dancing. It was just hot. It was stuck in my head.
Yep.
I was the only one downstairs, so thankfully the dog's looking at me and going, what are you doing? That one misses outside for a ball on Pena. Pena's 4 for 17 on the season, 235 so far. No home runs, but 3 RBIs to his name. Lots of patience at the plate. Swings and misses at that one. Count now 1-1.
Pena has shown a propensity to deliver in these spots before in his limited time in the IBL so far. Big 2-run single off Frank Garces a couple of weeks ago.
1-1 offering. He's in there for a called strike, says the plate umpire. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Great pitch by Yokoyama in an even count. Work the corners and stay away with that fastball. Trust your stuff. Puts himself in an advantageous situation here as he tries to battle out of this early bases loaded spot.
That one misses just upstairs.
Of course, it'll take more than a couple dotted fastballs to get Pena to swing at something he doesn't want, though.
Two-two pitch again, momentarily here. Pena goes swinging and missing on that one. Cardinals will strand the bases loaded here to end the first inning. No runs.
One run with 3 runners left on base. The score is 0-0 as we head to the top.
So that marks each of the past 3 games now where the Hamilton Cardinals have put runners in scoring position in the first inning. And I believe it was only one of those times that they came around to score. Nico Kakedos had the RBI single on Sunday versus Guelph.
Yep.
They came up empty in the first inning on Friday versus Kitchener, and again here. The fact that they're making noise with the bats in the early going is a good sign, but got to work on bringing them across.
Yep, we'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. This afternoon in Toronto, the Welland Jackfish knocked off the Maple Leafs 12-6. Robert Mullen with another 2 home runs.
In other news, the sun came up this morning.
Yeah, the sun came out this morning. Marcus Connect, another pair of home runs as well. It's like I'm wondering, my question is to both teams is, why are you pitching to these guys? Like, why?
Yeah, especially at Christie Pitts, too.
Like, Mullen's got 3 home runs on the weekend.
Yeah, hitter of the week last week and
player of the month.
Month, sorry.
Yeah, and the hitter of the week as well, yeah. So, you know, it's just like, why are you pitching these guys?
Showing no signs of stopping.
Then you have in Kitchener, the Kitchener Panthers getting the weekend sweep versus the Guelph Royals. They shut out the Royals this afternoon 4-0. And the other game, of course, it was in Brantford. The London Majors victorious 6-2 over the Red Sox. So the London Majors now improved to 8-4 in the season. Welland Jackfish are 8-1 thanks to that loss yesterday to London. Hamilton's in third place at 4-2. Kitchener, Chatham-Kent, Toronto, right in the middle of the pack, all at 5-5. Guelph's now 4-6. Barrie's 3-6, and Brantford down at 1-9. Which the Red Sox just need I don't know, something just to go their way for once. Maybe a big inning once in a while here, and just to break out of the funk, because they're better than the 1-9 team.
I feel like they do deserve better than that record based on their play so far this year. Yes, they did have a couple laughers, that 20-5 loss against Kitchener or whatever it was last weekend, but they've had a couple of close games not go their way. Most recently on Friday night against these very same Barnstormers at home.
Well, exactly. It was a 3-3 tie going in the 7th inning, and it was just like, okay, they might have a chance to pull this one off, and then something just went wrong, and unfortunately they were on the wrong end of it again. So, they have to break that mindset. They have to break that culture here, which I'm sure they'll do eventually, but till then, we're just having to watch it, as Ojeda will be the leading off batter here.
Adames did a great job in that first inning of establishing the north-south approach. He was getting swings and misses both down and away with the secondaries and up with the fastball. He'll look to continue that this inning. It was an efficient first inning for Adames, which is more than you can say about the way the first inning has gone for the Cardinals on the pitching side for most of this year. That one fouled away.
I did not know that, Dan Dominguez. Lee Cassera is also a scuba instructor.
Huh.
That's why he's fast in the water, too.
Yeah. If you can be fast in the water, then you bet you can be fast on land.
There you go. 1-1 is the count here. That one misses just inside. Bettini tried to pull that one back, but Justin Simley saw where that was. And the count's now 2 balls and 1 strike. No score here in the top of the second inning. Cardinals left the bases loaded in the last half inning. This one's hit to left field pretty deep. Left fielder is going to back. He's going to catch it right in front of the Denninger sign for the first out as Ota is retired on the F7.
Otis got some pop. He put a good swing into that ball. He homered last Saturday versus the Welland Jackfish, but the confines of Bernie Arbor hold it, and Kikatos tracks it down for out number 1.
And now Timmy Wagner Jr. will be the batter now. I don't know if he wants to go by Timmy or Tim, because I know on the actual point streak site it's actually listed as Tim. So, but on the lineup card that was on tonight it says Timmy. So, my apologies to the Wagner family if I'm saying it wrong.
Wagner is the Barnstormers' new import out of Boston, Massachusetts. He went to Wheaton College in Massachusetts, and he spent the past 2 summers in the FCBL, a collegiate league down there.
Ground ball hit the nickel. Nickel throws it across the Terremple in time. 6-3 goes to put out. Wagner's retired for the second out here of the second inning. I'll bring up Braxton Haggett now.
The left fielder, number 23, Braxton Haggett.
The left fielder in tonight's contest. 7 for 29 on the season, a 241 average, 5 RBIs so far. Another one of these guys the Barnstormers are going to be relying on to get hot here soon. Tough to move up the standings.
Another one of the returning Barnstormers from their inaugural season in 2024.
So he takes strike 1 here from Adames.
Braxton will turn 22 in July out of Glencoe, Ontario.
That one's in there for a strike, and Haggett behind the count here at 0-2. Seem to recall he had a big home run here last year during the windstorm.
That he did. Pretty sure that game was a year ago today.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close to it. Yeah.
Second Sunday in June.
Yep. And we walked in and was going, why is it so windy? It has to be Chatham-Kent coming to the ballpark.
Yep.
It just has to be.
They brought it with them.
Yeah. Please take it home with you. It's too cold now. There's a chopper on the ground. Tommy Reyes screws up with it, flips to Rempel. 4-3 goes the putout. Barnstormers go 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. We'll take a quick pause from the action. We'll catch you back on the flip side with the Cardinals coming up in the bottom of the second. We come back here on Cable 14.
Stepping up to the plate, catcher number 11, July.
Bottom of the second inning we go here at Burning Harbor Stadium. Neil Srivastava, Matt Creeley on the call today. Scoreless ties. We hit the home half of the second inning, and July Vittini, Mr. 7-11, will lead things off. Thanks again to Dan and Dom for the text messages. It is Timmy Wagner Jr. There we go. I'll have to get somebody to update point streak then.
Vittini had, for my money, one of the best at-bats in that game on Friday against Kitchener. He was down 0-2 against Andy Vargas. He fouled off 3 in a row and then punched an RBI single to right.
It's when the shortstop this time. Long throw across the diamond will give Vittini in time. 6-3 goes put out. 1 away here. And Tommy Reyes-Cruz will be the batter now. Who's been an absolute standout since joining the Cardinals. Very late in the I guess want to say the early preseason stuff, but very late on the roster, a very later addition.
They'd already played all their exhibition games by the time Tommy came to town, but better late than never. He's been a contact machine so far.
That he has been.
He had a swinging strikeout on Friday. It felt like I was witnessing a historic event. Don't see that too often from him.
No, you don't.
Tommy up to 286 now on the season. His batting average second on the Cardinals behind Nico Kakatos.
3 RBIs to his name. Watches that one all the way into the glove, and the count is 2-0. Tanner Rempel waits on deck. Cardinals sending up 7-8-9 in the second inning. And a scoreless tie. Reyes-Cruz fouls that one off. Count now 2 balls and a strike on him.
I know the offense is yet to fully get going, Neil, but would you have believed it a year ago today if we told you that in 2025 Tanner Rempel would be hitting 9th for the Hamilton Cardinals?
I wouldn't have counted on that. No, I would have figured 5, 6 maybe in the lineup, depending on who's in front of him.
Speaks to the change around here.
That one's in there for a called strike at the letters. On Reyes-Cruz, the count is 2-2 now. Two offering. Reyes-Cruz goes swinging and missing. Maybe we got to stop talking about swinging strikeouts.
To be fair, Yokoyama has been using that curveball to his advantage against the Cardinal lefties. They have been chasing it down and away. Tommy, not the only one who's done so tonight.
Yep.
It's a good plan of attack to have, especially, again, in those lefty-lefty matchups. It's just so hard to lay off. You see the ball coming out of the hand at a certain angle, and even if you're expecting breaking ball, you may not be expecting it to end up exactly where it does. And Tommy's down swinging again.
That he is. Now Tanner Rempel will bat with 2 away and nobody on. Takes strike 1 high. At the letters again. And the count is 0-1. Rempel's looking for his first hit on the year. He's 0 for 9 so far. Very small sample size, though.
True. Rempel told me he was not feeling the greatest about his BP swings today, but knowing baseball players, sometimes a bad BP translates to a good game and vice versa.
Well, exactly. Well, I guess his opinion of a bad batting practice might be,
Yeah, everybody's got their
subjective.
Their different standards.
That one misses outside for a ball. Count 1-1. A lot of rainouts on the schedule for a lot of teams this week. As Rempel hits this one to the third baseman. Fielded cleanly by Vasilenic. He'll throw to first in time. Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. I guess getting back to what we were saying, everything else, I think the Welland Jackfish are playing 5 games in 6 days this week. Something like that because all the rainouts and everything else is coming on. I know the Cardinals, we got a bunch coming up too.
Yeah, this is the first of a 5- and 8-day stretch, I believe, for the Cardinals. They've got Wednesday at Welland and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's a lot of baseball.
They've had 4 rainouts so far, and this is the first of those makeup games happening. The second, again, will be going on Wednesday, and then 2 more before the end of the month, scheduled at Kitchener and Toronto.
When we look at the Look at who's what as far as look at the total. Look at the standings and the games played. Hamilton's only got 6 games played, whereas somebody like Welland or London's got 12 in the books right now. So a lot of teams are going to be playing catch up very quickly here.
Yeah, everybody else is between 9 and 12, and then the Hamilton Cardinals. This is game number 7. The rain has not been kind.
It has not.
But if all else goes according to plan, they'll all be made up by the end of the month.
Yep.
What? If last year taught us anything.
And the kids have run the bases courtesy of our friends at Denninger's once again. It was great to see that. A little bit, not as quite as many kids this evening.
But even for a Sunday night, that's a
pretty good crowd.
Good turnout.
And the kids are going to go back to school tomorrow and tell everybody, I got to run the bases at the Cardinals game. Which will bring the question, that's kind of cool. What's a Cardinals game?
And then pretty soon we're not going to be able to contain them.
No. Due up in the inning, Trent Sillett, Spencer Moran, and Lee Casera. 7, 8, 9 in the Barnstormers inning.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 20, Trent Sillett.
Sillett had a big day yesterday, 3 RBI and the 14-5 drubbing of the Toronto Maple Leafs in Chatham yesterday night.
I think it's on his father's Facebook page. I saw a picture of a very young Trent Sillett doing baseball instruction with none other than London Majors legend Cleveland Brownlee.
How about that?
I'm going to have to get somebody to send me that picture because I'm definitely going to reference it at some point down the season later on. But I thought that was just remarkable. But that just tells you the longevity and everything else. It's kind of scary. You go show that to Cleveland. It's going to be like, I used to teach this guy batting practice, or how to take batting stances and stuff, and watching him evolve into this kind of player now. And now he's playing for the Barnstormers.
Yeah, they would have played against each other last year.
One and one is the count on Sillett from Adamas. That one misses just upstairs. 2-1 now. Sillett is 2 for 12 on the season. Does have 4 RBIs. 166 average coming into play tonight. Frazis is so new we don't have a headshot for him on point streak. That one's fouled away, and the count will be 2-2 here. Scoreless tie here in the top of the 3rd inning. If you're just tuning in on Cable 14, I'm Neil Srivastava. Matt Creeley is along with us on the call. Thank you for joining us for, I want to call it the inaugural Sunday Night Baseball, but I'm going to work with that one.
As far as the regular season goes, at least here in Hamilton, it feels that way.
Sillett fouls this one off again, and somebody's going to have a handful of baseballs out there.
A bunch of people walking their dog or whatever in the path through the forest tomorrow morning. They're going to happen upon a couple of these Trent Sillett foul balls.
I think a lot of the kids will probably go before that happens, but still, it could happen. Sillett fouls that one off, stays alive now.
You could see Adamas changing speeds and location on Sillett, just unable to put him away. That's 3 consecutive 2-strike foul balls, 2 on the fastball, and then 1 on the curve there.
When Sillett stepped out of the box there, just reminding himself he was going through the hand motions where he's got to have his arms through the plane. That one just misses upstairs, and that'll run the count to full at 3-2.
That's a real professional take there by Sillett. Tough to do, a fastball on the high outside corner. Call could have gone either way, but trying to stiff arm his way back into some leverage here as he runs it full.
He takes the walk here to start the 3rd inning.
It's a great tone setter at bat to start an inning. A long walk like that. Adamas had been cruising until then. That's his first base runner. He'd been getting a lot of early swings and batted balls resulting in outs. And Sillett trying to buck the trend. It's the bottom of the order, tries to get a rally going here.
And Spencer Moran is the Denninger weenie batter of the night too. So if Moran strikes out here, everybody gets off hot dogs for the rest of the inning.
That was a promotion last year, but it feels like this year people are really invested into it.
That and the beer batter of the night on Friday nights. My goodness. I was watching the highlights and everything else again on the weekend. I was just like, those kids were really, really loud.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the kids either. You're hearing some groans when our friend Charlie Towers did not strike out. Here's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. Reyes Cruz was unable to come up with that one. He deflects off his body. Still, it's going to go to third. Runners on the corners now with nobody away here to start the Barnstormer third inning.
And it was a ground ball, but you knew right away that it was trouble. Tommy Reyes Cruz, from the outset, did not have a good read on that ball. He was trying to plant himself square in front of it, and by the time it got to him, he was slightly too far to the right. It bounces off his chest and into right field.
Yeah, it took a weird hop, that's for sure.
So Adames gets the outcome he wanted as far as the batted ball goes, but, well, everything that happens after that is out of his control. And a hop here, a hop there, and Barnstormers are threatening.
Moore now 12 for 35 on the season. He calls the balk on Adames here, and that's going to bring home a run.
And we've seen that issue so far with the Cardinals Dominican pitchers. I don't know if the technicalities and the way that it's officiated up here is different, but Ramon Sanchez, Ramon Henriquez, and now Frazee Adames have all fallen victim to the balk.
Maybe it's just they're not coming to that complete stop the umpires are expecting here, and that's what they're calling it on.
That's not the first time the Cardinals have given up a run on a balk this season.
Nope. There's a chopper. Brown can't get to it, and it deflects off his body. Nickel does not have a play on it. Runners now again at first and third, and it's already a 1-0 Barnstormers lead here.
And this is where, if you're Adames, you cannot lose sight of the end goal here. Yes, he got robbed on those two grounders, and you don't see a run-scoring balk every day, but aside from that balk, he's done more or less everything he could this inning. The walk to Sillett was a real battle, and it did indeed set the tone for the Barnstormers, as he probably deserved to with how hard he worked for it. And
just waiting for the official score ruling on that. Likely is going to be called an error, I'm assuming. Brown had it on the glove, and he deflected it, so we'll have to see here.
Yeah, there's nobody out, but this is a situation where he's done he's gone mostly right so far this inning, even though the results don't say so. You just got to block out the runners on base and power through, get 3 quick outs here like he did in the first 2 frames.
Yep. So it is officially scored as an error on the third baseman. Casera reaches on the error. Morin goes to third. Still nobody away here in the Barnstormers' top of the third inning. Runners going on the pitch here. This one's hit to left field. Runner is going to tag, and everybody else is going to be backpedaling. And then a run will come home. Give Evan Morrison the sac fly, 1 away. 2-0 for the Barnstormers now.
And again, I know that's another run, but 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's a trade the Cardinals are happy to make in this situation, or at least they should be. The double play's back in order now. Adames gets that elusive first out. Just got to put it behind you.
That's due. Robert Mackey down the batter. He flew out to left field in the first inning. Evan Morrison, proving to be a tough out, but even when he does get out, he's still able to bring in runs. A great pickup and a great signing by Don Menard.
And Morrison just turned 22 this April. He's got to be an early contender for Rookie of the Year. His .441 batting average leads this team.
Last night he was put on a clinic.
Yeah, the homer against Toronto, and 13 more runs came after it.
That one misses upstairs. Count now 1-1 on Mackey.
Mackey, one of the original Barnstormers from last year. Prior to that, he had some experience with the Welland Jackfish and London Majors in the seasons preceding.
Windsor native, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, Vancouver.
Vancouver, okay. Oh, it's Dan Patel. I always get him and Robert mixed up.
Yeah, you are correct. Patel, that is his neck of the woods.
Count now 2-1, or sorry, 1-2. That one's out there. Bettini tries to hold it there, but Justin Snavely not giving that call yet to Adamas. 2-2 the count.
Sometimes you got to let what the batter's doing dictate what you do on the mound. Adamas stole a called strike with the breaking ball, and then 2 close takes by Mackey on the fastball, but he got him fishing for strike 2. Why not go back to the curve a third time here? Let's see what happens.
Adamas from the stretch again. His 2-2 offering. Runner's going on the pitch, and that one's fouled away by Mackey to protect the runner here. 2-0, the Barnstormers leading here if you're just tuning in here, scoring both runs in the top half of this frame. Cardinals left the bases loaded in the first inning.
Torin Vasilinac was going golfing there. He foul ball landed right at his feet, and he golf swung it right back to the Cardinals dugout.
I hear Garrett Dave's actually a pretty good golfer.
Huh.
Liner up the middle, it'll be a slow roller. Nichols going to step on the bag, gets the out at first. That's a double play, and they get out of the inning. Damage is done here. The Barnstormers strike for 2. We'll take a quick pause in the action and come back here on Cable 14 with the Cardinals coming to bat. Bottom of the third inning, the Hamilton Cardinals trailing the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers on Sunday Night Baseball. Neil Shrewaspa, Matt Creeley on the call on Cable 14. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cardinals sending the top of their order up here in the home half of the third, looking to get back into this one after giving up the lead in the top half of the frame. Tyler Duncan with the leadoff double to start the ball game, got stranded at third base in the first inning.
Yeah, of all the guys you want to come up to bat after you give up a couple, the game's first 2 runs in the top half of the inning, this is probably near the top. Tyler Duncan now 5 for his last 6.
Starting to get hot as the weather warms up as well. It's going to warm up, right?
Yeah, right.
Duncan does not go around. The appeal down the third says he did not. Count is ball 1.
We were talking about the Barnstormers pitching plans for tonight, and Yokoyama, who's been mostly a reliever so far, they did get him stretched out for 5 innings in his last appearance. He took the W on Tuesday night at Guelph. 5 shutout innings there.
Guelph Royals just not seeming to be firing on all cylinders as far as the hitting goes.
Yeah, they dropped 9 on the Cardinals last Sunday, and since then the
bat's been
they are struggling. I believe they're winless since then.
They are.
So that's now an L4 for the Royals.
An L4, yes. As Duncan works with a 3-0 count in his favor now. And Dan Dominguez once again chiming in. Garrett Day is a member of the Wayne State golf team.
Multi-sport athlete.
There we go. As Duncan draws the leadoff walk here. And that would explain it, because I don't know the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers ads during their intermissions and everything else. They're promoting the golf tournament, and Garrett Day is one of the big spokespeople in it. Now explains a lot.
Yep.
I am not good at golf.
Being a closer and being a golfer are kind of two opposite things as far as intensity goes. As Garrett wants to give his mind to rest sometimes out there on the links. Of course, it is different when it's competitive and you're on your collegiate team, but
I wonder if he's seen Caddyshack and what Chevy Chase used to do on that thing with that na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does that when he's pitching. Now I'm going to have Garrett Day saying that next time. Or it'll be, I do not go na-na-na-na-na-na. That one misses outside again, and the count is 2-0.
6 straight balls from Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama to start this inning. The consistency in his command has eluded him so far.
Nickel gives this one a charge to center field. Casera is underneath it. He'll make the catch, though, on the run. Duncan's going to tag and go to second. An attempt to throw. Duncan slides in safely. Cardinals getting a little aggressive on the base path.
Sometimes you got to scratch and claw your way back. Brendan Nickel has had a lot of deep flyouts to center field this season, hitting into the wrong part of the park, especially with Lee Casera out there. But every time I watch Tyler Duncan go from first to second, I find myself surprised at how fast he has given his frame. And I know we've mentioned it before, but he can really get those wheels turning.
He's got some long legs, that's all I can say.
That was an ambitious one as far as stealing second on a flyout goes, but he made it work. And Barnstormers scored on a leadoff walk in the top half. The Cardinals are trying to do the same here.
Yes, because Salazzo takes a strike one inside here. Count is 0-1. I don't think the scoreboard's been reset yet. One offering. Salazzo pops this one high in the air here. Ota backpedaling behind the dugout, or sorry, behind the backstop here. Makes the catch. Salazzo's retired on the F2 for the second out of the inning. And Nico Katatos will be the batter. He flew up to center field his first time up.
Fielder number 10, Nico Katatos.
The Cardinals did strand the bases loaded in the first inning, but it wasn't for lack of proper approach. Nico Kakatos drilled one, a hard hit ball to center, but Casera managed to track it down. I'd say probably 8 times out of 10 that one's in the gap for extra bases and a couple runs home, but doesn't always fall that way.
That doesn't. That one misses upstairs for ball. 2 away here in the Cardinals' home half of the third inning. They're trailing the Barnstormers 2-0. Barnstormers striking for 2 in the top half of this frame.
And we're seeing Yokoyama go more and more to that curveball on the first pitch as this game goes on.
And misses for a ball. The count 2-0. Jane Brown waits on deck. One gets away from the catcher, and Duncan's going to take the slow trot to third.
We talked about how fast Tyler had to move to get from first to second on that flyout by Nickel, but by contrast, that was a nice little Sunday stroll.
I think he had to make sure it got far enough behind the catcher, too, so he could actually go. Once he turned his back, it was, okay, I can take a slow trot. I don't have to dash. Just skipped off the glove of Otto. That one's in there for a strike. Count now 3-1. scored a wild pitch. Collins the ball for 2 walks in the inning for the Cardinals. And runners at the corners, and that's going to prompt the mound visit here. As the manager, Gil Rondon, is going to come out for a visit here, have a chat with his pitcher.
The silver lining of there being 2 outs and a base open there is that Yokoyama, especially after the wild pitch, can kind of pick his battles. Kikatos hasn't swung and missed at anything in the zone all season. He's been a hitting machine, hitting over 400 to start, so why not give him the open base and concede defeat on 3-0 and take your chances with somebody else. Of course, Jaden Brown is no slouch, but Kikatos has been covering all his bases this year, and with runners on, you got to think of the way you're least likely to get hurt. And pitching to Nico Kikatos 3-0 and in the zone is playing with fire.
Well, Gil Rondon is one of these guys I would love to have mic'd up when he goes for a conversation with his pitchers, because a former major league pitcher goes out there and has a conversation with somebody. I'd love to just see what kind of the mindset, not only is he as a manager, but just as a former pitcher. Hey, you're doing this. Hey, you're doing that. Or maybe it's just trying to give him a little boost of confidence out there. I'm sure there's other words in there that we probably can't use, but
yeah.
That one misses outside for a ball on Brown. Runners on the corners with 2 away here for the Cardinals. They're looking to get back into this one.
Yokoyama danced out of this situation in the first inning, but as the Cardinals themselves have proved to us, you can only clog up the bases on defense so many times before they eventually come around to score. Brown trying to knock that door down here.
1-0 offering, misses outside. That one looks like he just slipped out of his hand when he released it there. Count 2-0 on Brown. That one's in the dirt. Now it's the 3-0 count on Brown.
Yushin Ota's had to be busy back there with the runner on third, getting dirty to block a lot of those baseballs. So far, he's kept them all in front of him, doing an admirable job. And you see Yokoyama not really liking the choice of baseballs he has out there, constantly
so tossed that one right
swapping them out.
Tossed it right to the ball girl. Obviously with permission by the umpire, but still. That one's in there for a called strike, and the count is 3-1 now.
Brown has the ability to do damage on 3-0, but you got to pick your battles and know that Yokoyama's been struggling to find the zone at times. As Luis Bernardo very clearly giving some signs to Brown there. We'll see if that was a swing or take sign, depending on what happens here.
That was definitely taking a swing at this one. Brown is backpedaling. It's still backpedaling. Costera's not going to get this one. It's going to drop down and bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. If it doesn't bounce over the fence, he probably clears the bases here. Well, we got 2 runs across here. Actually, no, they're going to send the runner back.
Yeah, he was on first, so ground rule double means Kikatos has got to stop at third, and that's tough because, well, we now know it was a swing sign, and good job by Luis Bernardo to relay that.
It was a swing very hard sign, please.
Brown punished that baseball. About 395 to dead center, just short.
Of course, it's 405 here, and it's 406 in Welland. So, the 2 deepest parts in the league here. I think London is...
Barry's 406 too.
Yeah. You got to hit shots to get them out of here.
Nevertheless, a great swing by Brown. In a hitter's count, that's what you want to see. Another hard hit ball for Jaden, and
that was grounded at the second baseman. He'll flip to first, and the inning is over. Cardinals do get a run back. It is a 2-1 ball game right now, as they get a run back, and we'll take a quick pause when they actually come back with the top of the 4th inning when we come back on Cable 14.
2 runners up on base to score 2-1 for your Cardinals as we enter the top of the 4th inning.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Play it right, like.
Top of the fourth inning as we're looking forward to the All-Star game on July 20th. The Home Run Derby going in the afternoon, probably about a 5 o'clock start for the Derby. And of course, the big All-Star Showdown on Sunday, July 20th. You can get your tickets on HamiltonCardinals.com right now, so make sure you guys get those tickets. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to doing a lot of the calls here in the ballpark. We don't have to go far or do anything else. We don't have to travel this year. Of course, the fan vote will start on June 23rd, so make sure you guys are ready for that as well. It'll be one vote per email address. Saw a look at the ballot this afternoon. Well, I'm sure, of course, I should say I saw the ballot. I've been working on the ballot for the last 2 weeks, so yeah. It's coming together nicely, though. Back here on Cable 14, it is 2-1. Here's your scores. The Barnstormers cling to that lead. Unfortunately, the ground rule double takes away a run on the Cardinals. If it stays in the park, we have a tie ball game, and Brown's likely at third thinking about going home, as Casera didn't have a beat on it.
Yeah, it is a frustrating result there on that ground rule double. With 2 outs, it's especially tough because you know the guys are running on contact anyway, but nevertheless, they will take the 1 run. They've been knocking at the door for some time now.
Katatos and Brown got stranded on base as Pena grounded out 4-3 to end the inning.
We'll see if Adames can keep Chatham at bay here, and I bet the Cardinals are just dying to get the bats back in their hands with momentum now, at least for now, on their side.
Adames will face Vasilenic, Ota, and Timmy Wagner Jr.
Not sure where that first pitch breaking ball missed from Adames, but we move.
That we do. It's definitely a weird sky right now.
Yeah, the wildfire smoke is mostly cleared from the area, but we've still got some weird layers of clouds and different gradients of orange and gray and things going on here.
Indeed we do. 2-0 is the count on Vasilenic now.
Almost an eerie looking sky. What is it with the weather that Chatham brings here?
I don't know. At least it's not raining yet.
Don't say it.
I know. Don't say it. As he fouls that one off, the count now 2-1. That one misses upstairs. Adames not happy with that release point. Bouncing a little bit off the mound here.
Now, Adames may have been the victim of some tough luck that last inning, but he did walk the leadoff man, Trent Sillett.
And blocked them in.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 runs in this ballgame were leadoff walks, and there's another one to Torin Vasilenic.
Yoshin Ota will be the batter now. He flew it to left field his first time up in the second inning.
Ota, the 23-year-old rookie Japanese import, sitting .333 the first 8 games of this season. Played 5 games for the Ottawa Titans in the Frontier League last year.
This one's grounded at Tommy Reyes Cruz. They'll flip the nickel for 1 onto first. Not in time as Ota is able to beat out the tail end and reaches the board on the fielder's choice. Vasilenic's retired 4-6 on the putout. And Ota reaches on the fielder's choice, 1 away. Timmy Wagner Jr. grounded out 6-3 his last time up. Now bats with a runner at first base and 1 away. And this is inside for ball.
Talking about how Wagner's from Boston. The IBL's had American imports, but always fun to see the different demographics that they come from.
Oh, exactly.
I assume Timmy's a Red Sox fan. They're on Sunday Night Baseball tonight over on ESPN.
Grounder hit to the shortstop. Nichols going to flip the second on to first. Not in time. as Timmy Wagner Jr. will beat that one out on the fielder's choice, but they do get a second out here on a great flip by Brandon Nickel.
Yeah, even to get the one out there is huge, and you see the range of Brandon Nickel again. He was showing it off on Friday night in a big way, and again, ranging deep into the hole between third and short to backhand spear that one and flip to second for the fielder's choice and get Adamas another out here.
Going to bring up Braxton Haggett with 2 away. He grounded out 4-3 his last time up.
Let there be light.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was so dark up here.
I was like, why does the sky look so eerie right now?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going, this is 7:30. Usually it's pretty light up here. And it's like, now it makes sense. The lights weren't on up here.
Yeah.
That would do it.
It is a force of habit. We don't usually need to turn the lights on up here on Sundays because it's usually the 2 p.m. start. But
yeah, you usually have to worry about the sun being in our eyes.
Yeah. P announcer Josh Bain illuminated the room.
Yes. Thank God he's here. We would have sat there dumbfounded going, why is it so dark?
We would have
sat in the dark.
We would have just let this rather odd scene unfold in front of us here. Yeah. Weird baseball weather. Oh, forgot to turn the lights on.
Line down the line. Rempel can't come up with it. Goes down the line. Pena up with it. Runners going to first, second and third respectively as Braxton Haggis gets himself a 2-out double here.
Stepping up to the plate, first baseman number 20, Trent Sillett.
Just an absolute pool shot down the line by Haggett there.
Yeah, your timing's got to be pinpoint to get out front and pull a ball from a guy who throws as hard as Adamas does. But Haggett was up to the task there with an absolute worm burner down the first base line.
They bring up Trent Sillett, who led off the third inning with the walk, came around to score on the balk. First offering. Misses low for a ball. Of course, we got to shout out Chris, Mike, and Ed on the Barnstormers broadcast. They did such a great job on Saturday Night Baseball in CK, and then, of course, the Sunday afternoons as well. I always love tuning into those guys, and Ed's so insightful as far as with his knowledge of former professional baseball player and himself. He's just got great stories as well.
And a lot of baseball history everywhere you look there in Chatham.
That it is. This one's hit lined in the left field, and he's going to go flat out for that catch. Holy cow! Tyler Duncan. Wow. I didn't think he had a beat on it. How did he catch that?
One hit with 2 runners left on base. The score is 2-1 Chatham.
Rocky Mountain Thunder just stole one.
You see something new every day at this ballpark. I don't know what to say.
Wow. What? If I had a hat, I'd be off saluting him. Oh.
Tyler Duncan, take a bow.
Wow.
Goodness.
That is crazy. 2-1 is the score as we head to the home half of the 4th inning here. Why don't we go through the schedule for the Cardinals this week, Matt? What have they got on the roll here?
We've got a lot of ball, a lot of rain-out games to make up. So we got this one here, and then Wednesday night the Cardinals will be in Welland, and then it's their annual Western Ontario road trip this weekend. So the Toronto Maple Leafs come to town. Dennis DeBanning's return to Hamilton on Friday night, and then on Saturday they are off to Chatham for a rematch with these Barnstormers. They'll stay out in the western part of the province overnight, and then right back at it on Sunday afternoon for a Father's Day clash with the London Majors at Labatt Park.
I will actually be in attendance on Sunday. I don't think I'm on the microphone. I think I'm just scoring that one actually. So, yeah, we'll be there. We'll get some photos. We'll do some pregame stuff like we always do.
Is it going to feel weird not doing a million things like you usually do at the same time at the ballpark, Neil? Just scoring. That's a light day as far as days go for you.
It is. It's kind of light, but yeah, it's the same time. It's like that's okay. I'm sure I'll have 3 other things going on the laptop too, because again, it wouldn't be me if I didn't.
Yeah. The London Majors, we saw them here for the school day games in the preseason, but that was last year's first-round playoff series. The Majors, of course, defeating the Cardinals 3-1 in the best of 5, and they've yet to play and renew their rivalry in the regular season, so that'll be a fun contest to watch.
It definitely will be. Of course, both teams battling for that home field advantage in the first round, which is absolutely huge. And our cameraman had to dash off the field here.
Watch out, Alistair.
Yeah, don't get hit, Alistair, as Bettini pops this one up a mile high in the infield. It's going to be the second baseman calling for it. He'll make the catch. Actually, I think that was that was the second baseman.
They get all crossed up on those pop-ups.
Yeah.
Stepping up to the plate, second baseman number 25.
Bettini pops up on the F4, and Tommy Reyes-Cruz, who struck out his first time up, will be the batter now. Matt, I hope you didn't jinx him with these swinging strikeouts now. That's 2 in 2 days.
What are you talking about? I didn't say anything.
Deny. There we go.
I wasn't there, officer.
And yes, Matthews Curling's Network, it is very chilly up here. That's for sure. I asked Alexa before I left the house, what's the weather supposed to be like in Hamilton? And she said it's supposed to be like this and whatever else. I should have asked more specifically what's the weather in Hamilton. It's chilly.
Yeah, not good.
Not good. So I'm the dum-dum that left the sweatshirt at home. Jenny's got one, so she's fine.
That's what matters.
Yep. As Tommy Reyes-Cruz flies out to the center fielder here for the second out. And Channing Rempel will come to bat. He's 0 for 1 in the contest. Grounded out 5-3 in the second inning.
Talked about how Yokoyama was stretched out from a reliever's routine to make that 5-inning spot start on Tuesday night at Guelph, and they must have liked what they saw because they stuck with him here today. And with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, that Barnstormer bullpen is as quiet as can be. So,
which they're probably really thankful about too, because this is their 3rd game in 3 nights as well.
They've been all over the place. In Brantford on Friday, back home yesterday, and they won both times.
Somebody's really got to lobby for their schedule next year.
Yeah.
Dom, do not appoint me to do that. Grounder here is going to be in time to get Rempel. 5-3 again. A great throw by Vasilenic across the diamond to get Rempel going up the line. Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down here in the home half of the 4th inning, trailing the Barnstormers 2-1 as we come back here on Cable 14 with the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning here on Sunday Night Baseball. Neil Sherwastwa, Matt Creeley on the call with you on Cable 14. Thank you so much for tuning in and allowing us into your homes this evening. Chatham-Kent Barnstormers leading the Hamilton Cardinals 2-1 here, as Spencer Moore and Lee Casera, and then back to the top of the order, Evan Morrison due up for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Spencer Moore, again, tonight's weenie man of the game. If he strikes out, that's happy hour for hot dogs.
Saw you indulging on a Dunninger's hot dog before the golf ball game.
Yeah, that's my pre-commentary fuel.
First pitch in there for a strike on Morin, who singled his last time up in the 3rd inning.
And if you want to see the trend continue of Cardinals pitchers striking out the beer batters and weenie men of the game, Spencer Morin leads Whereas tied for the team lead with Spencer Marcus and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers with 10 strikeouts.
So there was some science behind this selection then.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not on the Weenie Man selection committee.
Neither am I.
However, theoretically, the odds should be in Adamas' favor.
As Morin tries to bunt that one.
That's one way to beat the Weenie Man of the game. Drop a bunt down.
Yep.
2 strikes on the Weenie Man.
Count is 0-2 here. On Morin. 0-2 offering. Oh, hits Morin on the arm. He's going to take the first. Not really happy with that one.
Well, it can't feel good. Adamas can regularly exceed the low to mid 90s with that fastball, and
that one's going to sting tomorrow.
Right on the tricep. It's
going to hurt now, and it's going to sting tomorrow.
Definitely didn't feel good. I'd probably be throwing the bat down like Morin did there too.
Yeah. That one just unfortunately got a little too far inside. Leadoff man aboard here to start the 5th inning now. Lee Casera reached on an error his last time up. Shows bunt here. And it's a called strike by the plate umpire.
That'll catch the attention of the Cardinals infield as the Barnstormers haven't been shy about showing bunts so far. Casera can track a lot of balls down in center field, but not even he was able to obtain that Jaden Brown deep fly ball. Ground rule double. Just behind him off the warning track on a bounce.
Adamas throws over to first, runner back safely.
Looks like Ramon Henriquez is warming up down in that Cardinal bullpen. We know how electric the arm is, but walks have been a serious problem for him so far. He'll get a chance to prove that he can throw strikes here tonight as Adamas works here in the 5th inning.
So Sarah throws bunt again. That one's fouled away this time. The count is 0-2. Well, the bunt's off the table now. Well, in theory. Anyway.
Unless he really wants to throw us for a loop.
Yeah. But the odds of actually executing a bunt on an 0-2 count are probably got to be astronomical here. So I've never done the math. I don't want to do the math.
I'd say you're on the right track with that assumption anyhow.
So he swings and misses that one. First is occupied, so he'll be out. That's the second punch out for Freitas Adamas. Bullpen is up here for the Cardinals. As one of the Ramones are getting loose here. Ramon Enriquez is getting loose for the Cardinals here in the 5th inning.
Somehow only the second strikeout of the night for Adamas. We've gotten used to that pizza pillows being piled high and far, but only 2 Ks on the night for him so far. He had 7 and 4 innings in Barrie, so tonight.
I think a lot of the Dominicans don't like pitching in cold weather.
No, they must not. Well, it was freezing in Barrie that day, to be fair. It was 13 and cloudy and blustery and windy, but
it's just hard to stay loose, too.
Yeah. Barnstormers done a good job putting bat on ball tonight and taking close pitches with 2 strikes. You got to give them credit.
That one's up through the wickets there, and that was off the base. And a great punch by Evan Morrison here. Runners on the corners now.
Even more loud contact from Morrison. He smoked that ball.
Adamas had to do everything he could to get out of the way of it.
Yeah, you got to turn into Spider-Man for a split second on that mound. Try and make sure that you don't get hit by that ball. Off the mound, off the second base bag, and turning easily to third is Spencer Morin, and now runners on the corners with 1 gone here as Adamas looks for that ground ball.
Evan Morrison is definitely making his case for Player of the Week, that's for sure.
And I saw how much fun Robert Mullen was having down in Welland and said, let me get in on that action.
Yep. Morrison goes on the pitch. Watini's throw is going to be not in time. A stolen base for Morrison.
And just like that, the double play is out of order. With the steal by Morrison, his 3rd of the year, you're going to have some decisions to make tomorrow.
Yep. Oh, the car ride home maybe.
They don't make it easy on you.
Some days, no, they don't. That's when we phone a friend or we ask the commissioner, one of the two.
And defer.
Yep. Say, yeah, I can't make a decision. You flip this one. Big swing and a miss by Mackey. Counts even at 1-1 now. 0-2, sorry. Scoreboard's not our friend tonight.
Well, that prehistoric Bernie Arbor scoreboard.
Keep praying for it to get hit by lightning so we have to get a new one. It just doesn't happen.
Somehow all the damage it takes during batting practice isn't enough.
No, it's too high on the pole.
Yeah.
This one's lined by Mackey into center field. Duncan is going to make another great catch out there, and he's going to throw home. And Bettini has to do a great diving save there to keep that one in front of him from prevent it from going from the into the dugout.
Well, you think the Cardinals prioritized defense this winter?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Duncan had to cover a lot of ground on that play. Him and Pena were converging, but still a decent bit less difficult than that unbelievable Superman dive he made to end the last half inning. What even more impressive is the throw home and the dive by Bettini to prevent it from going in the dugout so that Morin isn't tempted to tag up. Now Adames is one out away.
I'm highlighting that square in the scorebook, so when I go back for the highlights later.
Yeah, that highlighter is going to get some work. Tyler Duncan out in center tonight.
It is. As he starts off, Torin Vasilenic with a strike here. Adames does. 2 away, 2-1 is your score. Barnstormers threatening here in the top half of the inning here. That one misses inside and upstairs. Evens the count at 1-1.
Vasilenic's been playing a good third base today. Still looking to get going with the bat, though. 3 for 23 on the season.
And Dan Dominguez is definitely lobbying for his guy, Evan Morrison, 8 for 15 on the week.
Yeah, he definitely got to be on the short list at the very least.
Oh, yeah, well, guys like Mullen and Marcus Connect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of home runs this weekend. Then the pitchers category is a totally different kettle of fish.
Owen Boone didn't outdo himself in his effort last week against Barrie, but still good.
But you have that guy, that went down to London and almost had that thing happen too. So you gotta kind of look at that. Plus you got to look at the guy he was going against in that game too. So it's
yeah, my money would be on Garces.
Yeah. Big swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2.
Adames doing a great job to establish the inside part of the plate. So that way when he goes back out something over the middle, it throws off Vasilenic's vision and timing. That's not a swing you normally see on a pitch of that location, but Adames trained him to look in, and it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
To get to 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch on its way. Swing on a miss, and Vasilenic goes down on strikes. Adames gets out of the inning. Barnstormers strand a pair of base runners. 2-1 is your score here. As the Cardinals will come back when we come back on Cable 14.
It's time for some more dancing. That's why I'm over here with this group. Get on your feet for Hey Baby!
Tyler Duncan.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Burning Arbor Stadium. I'm Neil Shawaspa, Matt Crilly on the call here on Cable 14. Tyler Duncan will come to bat. His Cardinals trailing the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers 2-1. So it's quite the dance party going on between the half inning here.
Never a dull moment at Burning Arbor, even with the unfavorable start time and slightly smaller crowd.
It's definitely a Sunday night thing that just kind of threw everybody off. They went, oh, Sunday night? No, it's a school night.
That doesn't phase the game day activations and entertainment here, though.
That's for sure.
I hope Tyler Duncan didn't tire himself out sprinting and diving for all those baseballs, because he's got to lead off an inning for the 3rd time tonight.
Watches that one inside. He has a count of 2-0 in his favor now.
Duncan a double and a walk today. He is now just simply scorching hot.
Just 5 hits in the contest so far. Duncan's got 1 of them for the Cardinals. Barnstormers have got 3 of them. Comebacker up the mound. Fielded by the pitcher. He'll throw to first, and Duncan's retired for the first out here in the home half of the 5th.
Still, the fact that Tyler is 2 for 3 with a double and a walk against a lefty is something that Cardinals shouldn't be wasting. Oftentimes, one of the best ways you can neutralize a lethal left-handed hitter is by throwing a lefty on the mound against him, and that hasn't stopped Tyler today.
No.
Rest of the bats got to come pick him up now.
Brandon Nickel is 0 for 1 in the contest. Walked and stole a base in the 1st inning before being stranded at second base. Nickel lines this one into the outfield. He definitely heard us talking about him.
There you go, Neil. I was going to say, we just might be more powerful than previously thought up here, because
let's not get it to our heads.
No, but
yep.
Always good to be aware of that sort of thing. Tommy Reyes-Cruz heard me. Brandon Nickel heard you.
Yep. And Jonathan Salaz, the conductor, would love to get one going here.
Yeah, Salazzo's been scuffling this weekend so far. He definitely is not having fun. Lefty-lefty. Yokoyama struck him out on that looping curveball down and away in the 1st inning.
A couple more Barnstormers go sprinting down to the bullpen here. So as Salazzo hits this one high in the air here, left fielder is going to camp underneath this one, and Salazzo's retired on the F7 for the 2nd out of the inning.
It's another pop out for Salazzo. Again, timing has been an issue with him so far. He's trying to just get more reps, get used to it, but he's been a second-half guy for most of his career.
Yeah.
I don't think this is any cause for concern. He's just getting the...
And, of course, he wasn't available for those school day games either because he was working during the day. So, it's those extra at-bats might be the difference. I mean, he's just slightly missing here.
Looking down to a right at the Barnstormers bullpen. That is right-hander Brock Whitson getting loose.
Runner goes on the pitch, and he's going to slide into the tag. Nickel is caught stealing to end the inning. Cardinals do get a base runner on the base hit, but it gets erased on the stolen base attempt. We head to the top of the 6th inning. The Barnstormers leading this one 2-1 when we come back here on Cable 14.
This is a good song for tonight, eh?
Oh, it's a great song.
Top of the 6th inning, and we got a questioning going on. We got what in the heck is on the top of Fernando Rodney's hat right now? Is he?
I can explain.
Okay.
So, Eric Spearin,
Yes.
team owner, daughter Charlotte's 5th birthday party today. They must have had some spare party hats because I've seen Casey Howard with them. I've seen a couple Cardinal relievers with them, and clearly Fernando wanted to get in on the fun.
Yep. Man, that guy is just a card. And he's a Cardinal.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Charlotte. And
yes, very happy birthday to Charlotte. Hope she enjoyed her gifts and all her friends and everything else. We're having an impromptu birthday party at the ballpark. There's a reason why you don't usually play on Charlotte's birthday, and it never works out.
Yep. The rain says otherwise, but Fernando and company are glad to get in on the fun.
There we are, back at the top of 6th inning. Barnstormers leading this one 2-1.
Oh.
Josh is killing us back here.
The audio and PA work in Hamilton, second to none.
Yep.
That is cruel. Oh, my goodness. Change up down and away, and then just buckle the knees with a curveball. Adames is having fun out there against Ota.
He's definitely got the confidence going here. And just a big punch out there. One away.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Just simply overmatched him there.
Ota's looking at him back. I don't know what he said to him.
Ota's a good hitter.
Yeah.
That's a decent bat that he just made look silly. You're not going to make Ota look like that too many times.
No.
But Adames brought out the ace stuff there.
Timmy Wagner Jr. now the batter. Reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. Takes strike one here.
We saw Ramon Henriquez warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinals, and he is standing up and still loose down there, but Adames doing a good job getting out of the 5th, and manager Chris Piano says, all right, we'll try for one more.
And Timmy Wagner behind the counter 0-2 as Adames. It just seems like he knows it's his last inning, so he's just letting it fly now. Wagner did his best there to keep that one alive and get a piece of that one at 0-2.
Adames was more than halfway to an immaculate inning there. He got Ota on 3 pitches and was close to getting Wagner to do the same, but he gets a piece of it.
We didn't have one last year in the IBL. We had 2 the year before, though.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, do you remember who?
I think it was Gillespie for Welland.
Oh, right on. He pitched today.
Yeah, and I think it was somebody in Brantford. Oh, it was Isaiah Ramos, actually, in Brantford. 6th inning against Brownlee. Brownlee and I think Olio, and I can't remember who the last batter was.
Those are 2 big bats.
Yeah.
How do you remember that? Goodness.
Sometimes my memory scares me.
You and me both. Thomas slipped off the mound a little bit on that one.
Oh, and just for future reference, I do have I have all the no hitters and perfect games now on my phone for next time, so we need them. If we ever have to reference that again, we're not going to be scrambling around.
That will never happen again.
Nope. Fool me once, shame on me.
Darn it, Frank.
Yep. And there's another punch out. Adames is definitely dealing here in this inning.
It feels like the second we realized that Adames was running a lower strikeout rate than usual, he started to rack them up.
Yeah. Must have heard something here.
Yeah, that's 4 on the day now.
I think Little Caesars was calling, going, why there's only 4 things on the spike right now? Come on.
Yeah, there's something wrong here.
Think of the children. Think of the pizzas and everything else. That one just misses upstairs. First pitch to Hageth.
Hageth absolutely turned on one his last at bat for a double to the pole side past the outstretched dive of Tanner Rempel. Rempel had an unbelievable diving play at first base on Friday, but he was not up to the task on that one.
Hageth hits this one the other way now, and the count is 1-1.
I was talking to Tanner about that play during batting practice, and he said it was like a knee-jerk, like instinctive reaction, and he felt the ball hit his glove, but he was surprised to see that he came down with it.
Yeah.
And then once he saw it was in his glove, he was like, oh, got to get to the bag.
And he dove to get to the bag.
Yeah, and
I clipped it out. I didn't put it in the highlight reel, though.
Whoa. Not sure where that one missed. Cardinals dugout not too happy about that 1-1 breaking ball to Hageth. Feels like the strike zone's been different for Adames depending on the pitch type so far. It looks like the high spin and diagonal movement on that curveball is even fooling the umpire.
So the ground at Rempel this time, he'll get this one himself. And Haggis retired. 3 up, 3 down. The Barnstormers go here in the top of the 6th inning. When we come back here on Cable 14, the Cardinals will bat trailing 2-1.
Hey fans, make sure to take some photos tonight and tag us at Hamilton Cardinals on Instagram. We'll reshare your photos.
Stepping up to the plate, left fielder number 10, Nico Kikato.
On the call with you guys and gals. Chatham-Kent Barnstormers leading this one 2-1 as Nico Kikatos comes to the plate, and Alistair giving the 360 panoramic view here. Great job again by Alistair down there.
Indeed. Got to be careful, though.
Yep. As Kikatos hits this one to center field. And with 3 guys are converging, and it's going to be the Flash making the catch in center field, Lee Casera, for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, those pop-ups with 3 fielders converging. Kikatos hit it into the Bermuda Triangle up there in shallow center, but he'd be hard-pressed to get one of those to fall in front of Lee Casera. Even with traffic in front of him, he hauls it in for out number 1.
Well, last night in the Welland Jackfish game, we had a collision between Mateo Porcelato and Jonah Weisner. Thankfully, both guys were okay.
And they were in the starting lineup today.
Yep.
Those can be real nasty. Just ask Cardinal Nick Veloci.
Indeed. That was just scary.
Yeah.
As Jaden Brown takes ball 1 here. Yokoyama still in this contest here in the at the bottom of the 6th inning. That one misses outside for a ball. And 2-0 is the count.
Brock Whitson still throwing with intent down in that Barnstormer bullpen, as is Ramon Henriquez in the Cardinal bullpen. Looks like we know what's next for both sides.
Well, that was what the plan was anyways, as Don Menard said as they came off the bus.
Yep.
Looks like Whiston's pretty much on the same pace as Yokohama. He's matching them pitch for pitch out there now. And that one misses low, and Brown will draw the walk here with 1 away.
Yokoyama came into this contest with an ERA under 2 despite 7 walks and 5 strikeouts in 9 innings. And today he's continuing to somehow walk that tightrope and make it happen. He's given up just 1 run through 5 1/3 so far, and when he recorded the first out of the inning, he officially made this his longest appearance of the season. However, he has thrown 40 balls to 33 strikes.
Not a good ratio compared to like most.
Somehow getting by, yeah.
And it's just the Cardinals will just have 3 hits so far too. And like, there's only 6 hits combined in this game.
It's bizarre, but he's survived to this point. Yoki Peña's going to try and say something about that with 1 out and the runner on here. We just saw Frazie's Adamas jog out with his hat off to the bullpen. He's mingling, he's social, so it looks like his day is officially done, and he'll give way to Henriquez here in inning number 7.
Brown goes on the pitch. It's hit to the third side there. Only play is going to be first, but there was nobody covering third. If Brown was able to win the foot race there, he might have beat somebody over there. But they'll have to hold. Peña is out on the 5-3. Brown's at second with 2 away now for July Vittini.
A half-successful hit and run there by the Cardinals as Peña fails to reach, but they avoid the double play as Brown harmlessly arrives at second base while the 5-3 putout is completed. And a run-scoring opportunity now for July Vittini. Vittini's one of those hitters where the deeper in counts he is, the more comfortable he is. Batting with 2 strikes doesn't scare him. He'll see what he has to and only swing at what he wants.
And obviously knowing where the strike zone is does help him immensely here. The count is 1-1 now.
Yeah, part of the benefits of being a catcher. I was still thinking about that run-scoring single he had on Friday night. Just an unbelievable at-bat. Looking for more of the same here.
He's definitely got the weirdest batting stance, like you've mentioned many times over the broadcast, but his front foot is behind him when he starts the approach here.
It's open, it's far back, it's just a strange combination, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Batting stances are like fingerprints. They're never exactly the same.
That one goes off the catcher's mask here. So apparently in Friday night's baseball game, one of the two catchers, when they hit deflections off the catcher's mask, split the baseball in half.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the play where the ball came up here off of Ibarra's mat? Wow.
It split the ball in half.
Jeez.
They peeled down to first. He did not go around. And the count will run to full at 3-2 on Bettini.
Those umpires have been doing a good job with the check swings so far. It's not an easy call to make, but Bettini held up there, it looked like, from our vantage point. Isaac agrees down at first.
That one's inside, and Bettini draws the walk here. And the Cardinals have got two aboard here for Tommy Reyes-Cruz.
Another great AB by Bettini, once again showing that he is not afraid to battle deep in counts. He checked his swing on a 2-strike breaking ball and gets rewarded. Not tempted by that full count fastball up and in by O'Connor Yokoyama. And he fills the open base over at first, and Tommy Reyes-Cruz will have a chance to redeem himself. In danger of his first hitless game as a Hamilton Cardinal, 0 for his first 2 here, but Jaden Brown's dying to make the turn if he can find some grass here. Once again, that get me over breaking ball from O'Connor Yokoyama. And Reyes-Cruz requests time to adjust his shin guard here.
Looks like it just slipped when he took the last swing here. Two on for the Cardinals here in the 6th inning. They trailed by a run with 2 away. Yokohama looks the runners back. Reyes-Cruz hits a grounder to the second baseman. Fielded cleanly, thrown to first in time. That's going to end the inning here. Cardinals strand a pair of base runners and still trail the Barnstormers 2-1 as we head to the top of the 7th inning on Cable 14 when we return after the break.
Cardinals, number 57, Ramon Henriquez.
Top of the 7th inning we go here, and Francis Adamas' inning day is done. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs. They're both earned, a walk, a hit batter, and 5 strikeouts, and he gives way to Ramon Henriquez. And we'll let my colleague Matt Creedy walk you through his numbers.
So Ramon Henriquez came into this league with much excitement and fanfare about the stuff and the quality of his arm and the velocity and the movement and everything else, but
Well, to be frank, it doesn't quite matter if you can't throw strikes, and Henriquez has struggled to do that so far. Through 3 2/3 innings, 1 start, 1 relief appearance so far on the season. He is 0-2 with a 12.27 ERA, 6 strikeouts, yes, but 7 walks. He is not in the strike zone as much as he should be, and for how good his stuff is, he isn't generating as much chase as he probably could as well.
Well, hopefully tonight is a perfect night for him to turn a new page here as he faces Trent Sillett, Spencer Moore, and Lee Casera due up in this inning here.
The stuff is electric, and that makes him projectable and someone that the Cardinals could work with, but it's still very raw right now, and they're working on polishing their new, young, talented arm and hoping to convert him to a force in this league.
Sillett is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. He walked and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Takes the ball there. Count even at 1-1. Barnstormers leading this one 2-1. All the runs scored in the 3rd inning. Barnstormers striking for 2. Cardinals got 1 back. They would have tied it up, but the ball bounced over the fence. That one misses outside.
Looking at some of the more advanced numbers on Henriquez, he's in the strike zone about 40% of the time, which he could probably live with if he was getting more chase. That chase rate sitting around just 12% and a swinging strike rate under 15% as well. Part of the trade-off of pitching is you can live outside the zone if you're frequently getting swing and miss there, but batters haven't been fooled when he's missing.
Sillett went chasing for that one. It's now 2-2 on the count.
So what that does is it forces you into the zone and give hitters more hittable pitches. Henriquez, however, sitting 2-2 here. Let's see what he can do.
Got Sillett to straight that one out there, and there's one punch out, and the first out of the 7th inning is recorded.
And right there in a nutshell, you see the potential of Ramon Henriquez, and when he is not even in the zone, when he's like in the shadow of the strike zone and remotely close, he can easily be one of the more dominant arms in the league. It's just making sure he can stay there. That was a great first start on Trent Sillett, who knows how to put together a good 2-strike approach, as we saw against Adamas earlier in the game. Hopefully a confidence booster for Ramon here.
Somebody's got to tell the kid that's running around with the pizza spike he's missing is a strikeout. He's only got 6 on it. Or he only had 5 on it when there's actually 6 in the game now.
I think we could forgive him for losing track. There's a bit
of plethora on a Friday night.
Yeah. Some more pizza pillows might be in order.
And that one misses for a ball. And here we go again. Henriquez just struggles to find the zone with consistency here.
Spencer Morin showed bunt on the first pitch of this at-bat and nearly got plunked, and that time he showed bunt much more tentatively, a lot more timid in that box after the brush back on pitch number 1.
It's this one off the end of the hands. Rempel is there. He'll take it himself. Morin's retired on the 3 unassisted. There's 2 away here in the 7th inning.
Stepping off of the plate, center fielder number 13, Lee Casera.
Lee Casera, who's reached on an error and struck out in the contest, will be the batter now in the 9 spot tonight.
Further proof of how effective Henriquez is when he's in the zone. Opposing hitters make contact in the strike zone about 71% of the time. That's the least of any Cardinals pitcher, so he can miss bats even when he's throwing strikes. It's just when he does that is the question.
That one almost got up here.
Neil, if that net was about 5 feet shorter,
yep. I'd be like, oh, why is it in my lap?
We would have been camped under that one for out number 3.
Yep.
There's been some close calls. That foul ball off Ibarra's mask on Friday night, and now this one.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
If this is not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
Start bringing that glove.
I know I said I was going to bring my glove to the yard more often, but I forgot to today. And
hey, Jason Shipley of Rawlings Canada, if you want to bring some samples up here and just leave them up here for the season, we'll take good care of them, I promise.
Now they'll get their
They'll get used. That one misses outside as Henriquez just slipped off the mound a little bit too much oomph on that one.
Yeah, he released that pitch late, down and away to the righty Casera with 2 strikes, really trying to fire it in there, but he yanked it.
It's almost like he was trying to aim it to the other half there and just say, okay, yeah, little too much time on there. 1-2 offering. His line, but foul.
And you can
into
see
the bullpen.
Henriquez adjusting with his timing there. He had a much longer windup and paused briefly at the top of his delivery. It didn't throw off Casera. He was all
ready to
over
go.
that pitch, but just fouled down the third base line, kept it on the ground. And we'll do it again.
Big swing and a miss, and that's the Ramon Enriquez we're used to seeing here.
That is another little Caesars.
3 up, 3 down. The Barnstormers go. We hit the 7th inning stretch here at Burning Harbor Stadium with the Barnstormers leaving this one 2-1. Back with the home half of the 7th inning when we come back after the break.
Now the mound for Chatham-Kent, Brock Whitson. Stepping up rally, first baseman number 44, Tanner Rempel.
Bottom of the 7th inning we go. Tanner Rempel steps into the mound, at the plate anyways. New pitcher on the mound for the Barnstormers.
As expected, Brock Whitson coming on here in relief of Yuri O'Connor-Yokoyama, who gave the Barnstormers what they asked for and then some. Making the start here today, Whitson is predominantly a starter, although he'll be asked to eat some innings in relief tonight. I imagine the 7th and presumably the 8th will be his as he starts Tanner Rempel off with a strike. Whitson, a 3-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, changeup. He's got that 3-quarter delivery standing slightly to the first base side of the mound. He gets good extension down that mound and appears to have plus velocity on the breaking ball. He started Chatham's home opener versus Kitchener a couple weekends ago.
That he did. Yokoyama's line, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, the 1 run, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts. As Tanner Rempel's got himself a batting average, and he's the leadoff man to Bohr here to start the 7th inning.
You could kind of tell it was just a matter of time for Rempel. He was scorching balls in batting practice this weekend.
Stepping up to the plate,
he felt like his timing was like 3/4, 80% back to full mid-season form as he rebounds from the illness and the minor hamstring injury. He was getting pitches to hit on Friday, just a little late, a little under them, but that time he was all over that pitch from Whitson and rips it into left for a leadoff base hit. Tying run aboard.
Tying run aboard for Tyler Duncan, who's been Mr. Everything so far this evening for the Cardinals. He chops this one out to second base when they're going to flip to short for 1, on to first in time. And there's 2 away quickly. And I'm going to be quiet.
Neil, I think we've learned a lot of painful lessons up here.
That we have. That we have.
Duncan hit that ball hard, just
unfortunately right at the second
right
base.
at somebody, which is not what you want to see. And I would argue the Cardinals have deserved a hell of a lot more than just the 1 run tonight. They've hit into some hard outs. That double play there, they've hit balls at people. They've had good at-bats. They've been working counts and twice the amount of walks as strikeouts, as you said, and Yokoyama's pitching line, but
just haven't anything they come away with it yet.
When the chips are falling, the score is 2-1 Barnstormers. That wacky third inning with the balk and the couple of errors right now is the difference in the ball game.
Yep. And the ground rule double that took away a run.
Yeah. A reminder of how thin the margins can be in this game. Brock Whitson, through 3 appearances this season, 2 starts. That's 13 innings. He has a 6.23 ERA, 4 strikeouts, no walks.
Nicola hits this one in the middle. A great stop by the shortstop. Great flip in time. And was a promising inning that started off here is going 3 up, 3 down instead as the Cardinals are erased here in the 7th inning. Back with the top of the 8th inning when we come back after break. Top of the 8th inning in what's been a very low-scoring contest. I'm Neil Sherwasp, Matt Crilly is along with us. 2-1 is your score here on Cable 14. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers clinging to that lead as the top of the order will do up in the top of the 8th inning for the Barnstormers. Emma Morrison, Robert Mackey, and Torrin Vasilenic do up in the inning. Morrison is 1 for 2 in the contest with a sac fly, RBI, and a single.
Ramon Henriquez back out for his 2nd inning of relief work. And that was his first clean inning last inning, and you saw how well it can go when things are going right. The highs are high and the lows are low with Henriquez, but 2 strikeouts on the ground out last inning. Smooth sailing, but behind 2-0 already here to Morrison. And we'll see how long of a leash he has. It appears to be Corbin Peters doing some light toss in that Cardinal bullpen.
And then he's taking the sweatshirt off, so I guess he's getting a little more serious here. That one misses inside, and that's a 3-0 count here on the leadoff batter.
We've got quite the baseball sky unfolding in front of us on this slightly below seasonal but pleasant Sunday evening here at Bernie Arbor. There's something special about it.
Definitely be making a coffee stop on the way home. Got to warm up a little bit.
A scenic one at that.
And we're driving back up Highway 6 into the sunset. At this rate, and that's going to be a leadoff man and leadoff walk here for Evan Morrison. Barnstormers got a base runner for the first time since the 5th inning.
Well, you talk about Morrison's case for Player of the Week. And it's almost like ever since that topic came up, he's tried to twist the knife a little more.
Trying to make it more impressive here. Oh, we got conversations going first. What's going on?
Tanner Rempel. And looks like Gil Rondon not happy with each other right now. The Barnstormers acting first base coach.
I'm not sure what he's doing here.
He said something to rub Tanner the wrong way, and Chris Piano and Luis Bernardo are going to come out of the dugout and make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
Oh, exactly. You don't want to lose your first baseman here because he's losing his cool with the first base coach.
Rondon now as quiet as can be out there.
Not sure what the argument was about.
No, me neither. Didn't look like anything. I mean, it was a leadoff walk. It's not like there was like a bang play at first where Rempel
somebody got
hurt
spiked or anything, but it's just.
Oh, an ejection's been made. We have an ejection.
Wow.
That's Rondon.
Please, John Boy, don't do any lip reading after this one.
Yeah.
But I am definitely curious what happened here to get Rondon all fired up with Rempel.
We'll have to send our team of detectives on it here in Cardinal land. Man, Tanner Rempel's a competitive guy. Like, we've seen him have that fiery attitude on the field before, but he is normally as nice of a guy as they come.
Exactly.
And you got to rub him the wrong way for him to react like that. Something must have been wrong. Aggressive lead at first there by Morrison as we resume play here.
Unless the Barnstormers were relaying signs from whatever, and maybe they've picked up something. Who knows?
We'll see. And report back on the next broadcast. It's the walk of shame for Gil Rondon back to the clubhouse.
One of the fans is having some fun jawing at him. Runner goes on it. Morrison goes on it. Only play is going to be first here. 5-3 will go to put out. Mackey's retired for the first out of the inning. Morrison goes up to second. Thought about going to third on the throw across the diamond. Brown had to look him back.
Third baseman number 5, Torin Vasilnik.
Torin Vasilnik is down the batter. 0 for 2 with a walk and a pair of strikeouts.
We've talked about Henriquez's struggles with runners on. They always seem to get into his head and mess up his delivery and his wind up and release and all that. He's had balk issues too. We'll see how it affects him with Morrison directly behind him at second base this time around.
That one's in there for a ball. We had a double look at the runner at second base here. Popped down the line here. Brown has a beat on it. And it's going to go into the bullpen and out of play. And the count is 1-1 with one away.
That was almost a scene as the Cardinal bullpen had dissipated there like little fish.
Well, exactly. They're all usually clumped up there and protecting the pitchers up there. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, the ball's coming right at us. And throw our 300 guys. We have to move out of here.
Watch out, Corbin. You got a band of infielders and outfielders and a errant foul ball coming at you during your warm-up tosses. Keep your head up. It's a long strike one there.
It was. That one misses in the dirt. It's 2-1 now the count. On Vasilnik. Enriquez looks in for the sign from Bettini. His 2-1 offering on its way momentarily here. Big swing and a miss on that one by Vasilnik. Evens the count at 2-2.
Enriquez with that high heat, that fastball sitting at 95 regularly. Arm side run and vertical carry through the zone. Tough to catch up to.
Big swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes. And that's the second out of the inning. That's 3 strikeouts in the contest for Torin Vasilnik. Yeah. And the third punch out for Enriquez.
The catcher number 8, Yoshinoda.
Yoshinoda will be the batter now. 0 for 3 in the contest. Did reach on a fielder's choice. Has a strikeout as well. Takes a big hack at that first offering.
If you remember Oda's last at-bat, he flailed at a first pitch changeup just like he did there from Henriquez.
And maybe that's Bettini's got that in the back of his head.
Yep.
Last time this guy was up, this is what he did.
Yeah,
Let's throw those same pitches here.
He may be happy to see Adames out of the game, but Henriquez is a similar type of arm.
That one gets off the kneecap of Bettini, and that's going to allow the runner to go to third, Aaron Morrison. Down 90 feet away from an important insurance run for the Barnstormers.
There are 2 away in the inning, but Henriquez has to be wary of the wild pitch and / passed ball here. You got to try and keep it out of the dirt, because it's not like Oda has to record a hit.
Nope.
Or sorry, it is like he has to record a hit here to get that run home, but
Pass
doesn't
ball
matter.
or wild pitch will do the same thing.
Doesn't matter how many outs there are when there's a wild pitch and runner at third. So
as Oda chases that one high upstairs, and now it's 1-2 on the count.
Morrison is as aggressive as I've seen a runner at third. Even though that was a high fastball that had no danger of going to the backstop, he was nearly halfway.
He's ready to jump home.
He's on it.
That one misses inside. Bettini does a great job of just getting the glove on it to keep it in front of him. And the count is 2-2 with 2 away now.
Timmy Wagner Jr. on deck should this inning continue.
Henriquez gets the sign for Bettini. 2-2 offering. Is in the dirt. Bettini's got it in his feet, though. And Morrison can't move up, but it's now a full count here at 3-2. As the scoreboard's playing tricks on us once again.
Yeah, that's not Nate's fault. Believe us. That thing, the buttons stick on that remote like you wouldn't believe.
Man. Like I keep saying, we gotta hope for a lightning strike. It's gonna happen soon.
Shouldn't we all be so lucky?
Enriquez collects his slots. His 3-2 offering will be on its way. Grounded out to second baseman. Reyes cruises up with it. He'll throw to first over the Rempel. Inning over. Crisis averted here for Enriquez and the Cardinals. We'll head to the home half of the 8th inning. 2-1 is your score. The Cardinals trailing here on Cable 14.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Bottom of the 8th inning, of course, so you saw the ad for the All-Star Game coming here on July 20th. Make sure you get your tickets early. It's going to be a great event. Last year we had the opportunity to watch the Home Run Derby from the best seat in the house at the field level. So looking forward to having it here in our home ballpark and putting on a great show like the Cardinals can.
And for those of you watching at home, it'll be right here in the Hammer in 2025. Come to Bernie Arbor. We'll have the Celebrity All-Star Softball Game
Saturday afternoon.
On Saturday, and then the Derby and the All-Star Game, like Neil said, on Sunday. Fan voting opens on Monday, June 23rd. Be there or be square.
Lunchtime.
At lunchtime,
yes.
1 vote per email address. Send your favorite Cardinals and IBLers to the All-Star game.
Defensive change for the Barnstormers. Suki Ficado takes over behind the plate for them.
We talked about how he had a much-deserved night off, and we probably spoke too soon.
And it could have just been Brock Whiston probably feels more comfortable with behind the plate.
Fukuda just missed his spot in the order as Yushin Oto was the final out of the top of the 8th on that ground out to second.
As Salazzo draws the walk here from Whiston to start the 8th inning.
If he does come up to bat in this game, though, Fukuda, he's been one of the better hitters on this Chatham team to start the year, hitting .343 through his first 10 games. 6 walks, just 2 strikeouts, 7 RBI.
Yep.
His 4 doubles are tied for the team lead with Spencer Morin.
Nico Katatos is 0 for 2 in the contest. A pair of flyouts to center field and a walk. Got stranded at third base. In the 3rd inning, he was the unfortunate soul that had to go back to the base on that ground rule double.
Pinch runner here for the Cardinals. It looks like Nick Veloci over at first base for the DH John Salazzo, who is rewarded with a 4-pitch walk for his patience.
Yep.
Veloci, the McMaster University standout.
Bunt shown here. Only play they're going to go is to first base. As Kakatos does the job here, gets the sac run and puts a tying run now at second base with 1 away for Jaden Brown.
I'm not sure I love the bunt call with Nico up to bat because just how hot he's been swinging it, but late in the game, down by 1, and they haven't been falling your way. I don't disagree with the general theory of trying to manufacture this run the old-fashioned way, which is what Chris Piano and company are doing here.
Yeah. Well, especially when the hits have been a premium from both teams so far, only 7 combined in the contest.
Right.
Cardinals leading that one 4-3 in the tallies. Would love a big knock here, though. It's Brown was definitely thinking about that one, that first hack from Winston.
Jaden Brown tried to obliterate that baseball, but Whitson pulled the string on him.
Brown has the ground rule double and walked twice.
Responsible for the only Cardinal run.
That one misses. Oh, it's going to call a strike at the letters on the other half. And the count is 0-2.
Jaden Brown's super level-headed up there. You'll rarely see him show much emotion, good or bad, but I'm sure he's not thrilled with that one.
Umpire said he went around on that, and Brown's retired for the second out. Whiston gets the strikeout. And Yoki Pena will be the batter now.
It's just a classic example of a pitcher changing sights to his advantage. Whitson establishing the other half of the plate before coming way in. And Brown was prepared to swing on 2 strikes, but he didn't really know what to do with that one as it was down and in outside of the strike zone. Nice piece of pitching there by Brock. Down in the Cardinal bullpen, Fernando Rodney is doing some light toss.
In case he's needed.
I think you go about this 9th inning a number of ways.
Yeah.
A lot of it depends on what happens this AB.
As Pena takes strike 1.
And Yoki wasn't too thrilled with that call either.
I think it was more because he made the attempt and then pulled it back. Infield not liking that call, and it's now 1-1. Two-1 is your score here on the bottom of the 8th inning.
Veloci's got wheels over there at second. He's probably itching to come home here.
Pena goes through that one, and it's now 1-2 on the count.
That is what we call a sword.
Yep.
Was not looking change-up on that one, but Whitson once again using the secondaries to his advantage. A little half swing there from Pena to get to strike 2.
Pena goes down on strikes, and the Cardinals will leave yet another base runner aboard here. Off to the 9th inning when we come back. The Barnstormers leading this one 2-1.
2-1 Chatham as we enter the top of the 9th inning. time to announce the winner for the Cancer Assistance Program. Thank you for your incredible support. The winning ticket number will take home $142.50. The winning ticket number is B-4768. Once again, B-4768. Please go to the Cancer Assistance Program panel in the concourse to claim your prize before the end of the game. Cardinal fans, thank you for spending your evening with us. It's always a blast here at Bernie Arbor. We can't wait to see you back here on Friday, June 13th when your Hamilton Cardinals take on the Toronto Maple Leafs for Friday Father's Night presented by Cogeco. It's a special one. We'll be debuting our brand new baby blue jerseys for the season. First pitch is at 7:35 p.m. So bring the whole family out for a night of baseball giveaways and celebration. Until then, go Cards, go. Now on the mound for your Cardinals, number 19, Corbin Peters.
Top of the ninth inning here on Cable 14. 2-1 is your score. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers clinging to that 2-1 lead. All the scoring done in the third inning. They got 2 in the top half. Cardinals answer back with 1. And it's up to Corbin Peters to keep the thing at status quo here in the ninth inning for the Cardinals.
Corbin has thrown 4 innings of relief so far this season, and so far it's been flawless. 3 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits, no earned runs.
Designated hitter number 33, Timmy Wagner.
He throws hard, he misses bats, he induces weak contact. It's been more of that so far here in 2025. Corbin's got a combined called strike and swinging strike rate north of 30%. That's exactly where you want to be as a pitcher. He's gotten opponents on the batted ball metrics to get under 50% of their batted balls, so he's inducing a lot of weak fly balls and pop-ups. That's his MO.
His first offering to Timmy Wagner Jr. is swung on and missed for strike 1. That one's in there for strike 2, and Wagner behind the count 0-2 as Peters is all business tonight.
Corbin, by his own admission, can touch 94 with his fastball. One of the harder throwers on this team.
There's a slow roller hit to Jaden Brown. He'll throw across to Diamond. Rempel up with it. And there's one away here in the ninth. 5-3 goes the putout. Braxton Haggith will be the batter now. He's 1 for 3 in the contest with a double.
Corbin liked how Wagner was reacting to the slider there. He gave him 3 in a row. Again, sometimes you just got to take what the batter gives you.
Oh, exactly. If he's jumping all over the first offering here, you're going to throw him another one. This one's fouled off the body of Haggith for strike 1.
That's 4 breaking balls now to start the outing for Corbin. Looking down to our right of the Barnstormers bullpen, Neil, speak of the devil, Garrett Day getting loose.
There he's already got a pair of saves on the weekend.
Why not make it 3?
Yep.
That unmistakable, tall, lanky frame established himself as one of the best closers in the league last year. Yes, he did.
Second in the league in saves last year.
As Haggith went around on that 0-1 pitch up and in.
Now see what Peters goes to town here with. And he goes right back to it and punches him out on 3 pitches. Corbin Peters is dealing. The ideal setup man has found his role.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 20.
Yeah, Corbin's a really talented arm, and I think, and it was definitely out of necessity, but the Cardinals, if they can afford it, would like to not kind of jerk him around and put him in as many roles as he has been. Just get him used to a routine, find him some consistency, and just have him in a position where he knows what to expect coming to the ballpark every day, because he's talented enough that when he knows what he's doing, he can just let it eat out there. Look at that.
And he's got Trent Sillett on the hook here now. Quickly 0-2.
Corbin is just mowing through right now. Feels like he just got here. We're already at 0-2, 2 outs.
Yep.
I think he wants the Cardinals to get their bats back in their hands for a bottom of the ninth.
And Sillett does his job to spoil the immaculate inning attempt right there. I was waiting for the kaboom. Oh. Well, where's the kaboom, Josh? Where's the kaboom?
We're having fun.
Josh Bain is, of course, the PA announcer and the sound effect operator. He wears many hats behind us.
Josh has always been good at his job up here, but again, truly, if he can make it into a Cardinals game, the sound effects and PA are next level.
As still it gets the punch out, and Corbin Peters works a flawless ninth inning. Cardinals will come up to the last chance in the home half of the ninth inning when we come back here on Cable 14.
Nothing across the board for both sides. It is 2-1 Chatham as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Got to wake the bats up here or something.
Peters was fired up coming off that mound, and he always is. I always admire the competitive spirit of Corbin Peters. You want a guy who relishes that spotlight, and in a close game, Corbin mowing down the Barnstormers and giving the Cardinals these bats here in the bottom of the ninth. They've got 1 run to score and 3 outs to score it to keep their hopes alive here today.
And no surprise, number 38 for the Barnstormers is making his way to the mound, going over the signs with his catcher out here.
It won't be an easy task against Garrett Day. He's given up a run in 3 innings so far this season for the even 3.00 ERA, but last year, again, one of the best high-leverage relievers in the league, 1.66 ERA, 5 saves in 21 innings. He did record 9 walks and only 7 strikeouts, so relying a lot on his defense to get it done, but the Chatham product, born and raised, he'll be turning 24 in just under a month. He is the man of the hour for his Barnstormers, trying to make it 3 consecutive saves on the weekend.
Yeah, we'll see on the week anyways. He had a save Tuesday night against Guelph, and then, of course, he was on action on Friday night as well. Got the night off last night because it was a tilted score by that time.
It'll be Vittini, Reyes, Cruz, and Rempel, 7, 8, 9 for the Cardinals, although if you've been paying much attention to the IBL the past couple years, you'll know that that's about as good of a 7, 8, 9 as you'll get.
Yep.
At least in these parts.
Guys that aren't afraid to make pitchers work here and, take a pitch, take a strike until they see one.
Stepping up to the plate, the catcher number 11, July Vittini.
I know it's Sunday night, and we're not usually here on Sunday night, but it's 8:53 p.m. We've got a beautiful sunset in front of us.
Yep.
June evening, bottom of the ninth, down by 1. Is there anywhere that you would rather be?
Not really, no. Just wish it was a tad warmer.
Yeah. It was so long without baseball, though. I feel like we can't get too picky and choosy right now.
No, exactly. Considering where I was last year, just about a month from now, sitting at home watching these things and wishing I was here.
Press box wasn't the same without you.
That one misses upstairs for a ball. And the count is 2-0 on Vittini.
And this is obviously the prerogative of the Cardinals hitters this inning, is to find themselves in hitters' counts down to their last 3 outs.
Yep.
We talked about Day not having that favorable strikeout to walk ratio despite the fantastic results last year, and Cardinals have to keep that in mind here. Vittini, we know how passive and selective he is, up 3-0.
3-0 offering. He's in there for a called strike. Vittini obviously taking all the way in this situation.
Yeah, it was about the most obvious 3-0 red light.
Yeah.
We could have had.
I wouldn't be surprised to see all the guys with the red light up here till they see a strike.
They haven't been swinging 3-0 in general today.
Vittini hits this one off the end of the bat. An unfortunate bounce there, and that bounces into the glove of the shortstop. Vittini retired on the 6-3.
Well, we had that conversation on Friday night about the effect that a bounce off the mound can have, and that time it does not go the Cardinals' way. That would have been rolling right up, back up Main Street into center field.
And we got a pinch hitter. Josh Williams will take in a pinch hit here for Tommy Reyes Cruz in the 9th inning. Not a bad situation.
Yeah, you're not going to see Tommy get pinch hit for too much, but This situation calls for a blast, and this is the man to do it. Williams has to stay disciplined here, though. Day, he knows who he's facing here. These two were teammates briefly last year with the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Anything over the middle or the inner half, Williams should be bombs away, but he's got to stay aware of that outside corner.
It's the first one he sees, unfortunately, right at the base, and it's a great play by Trent Sillett. Quickly 2 away. Day went after and challenged him on that first offering. Said, here it is, hit it.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 44.
So it's up to Tanner Rempel. Now, if he can get on base here,
Tyler Duncan will come up at the top of the order.
He knows what his job is. Now more than ever, you just got to stay within yourself if you're Tanner Rempel.
That one's in for a called strike. Day gets ahead of the count at a 1-1.
And today's credit, he probably knows that. He knows that Rempel's probably looking to see pitches. So why not try and get ahead and steal strike one?
Yep. That one misses outside. He was trying to get him to chase something on our outer half. 1-1 the count now. The aforementioned Duncan on deck. That one misses outside. 2-1 the count now.
That's the slow slider there from Garrett Day. You see the sweeping horizontal movement from Rempel's perspective, at least. Coming in on him and then slowly tumbling away.
2-1 offering is fouled away into the dugout.
Nice play by Chris Piano. Cardinals manager all over that one. Down to their last strike now.
Rempel adjusts the gloves before stepping back into the box.
Barnstormers a strike away from extending their winning streak to 4 and finding themselves above 500 for the first time since opening night.
And they'll definitely jump up the standings, too. Rempel fouls it away. Bernardo almost made a play on that one.
Yeah, Luis Bernardo saw Chris Piano make a play on the last one and said, ooh, I want one. But out of his reach, Rempel stays alive. For one more.
2-2 offering. Hits Rempel on the backside, and he'll take the pass down the line. Did he stick it out there?
I'm no umpire. I will abstain from commenting.
That looked like he just kind of twerked his way to that one. Is that the right term?
Did you ever think you'd say that on broadcast?
No, but did I say it right? I don't know.
You know what? I think that is the word for it. But if in Rempel's defense, if he didn't do that, then he would have had it go behind him.
True. And Duncan will be still waiting on deck.
Yeah, that breaking ball just slipped out of Garrett Day's hand, but the winning run is at the plate. Rempel does his job, gets hit by the pitch. Curveball right off the backside. That's not going to be too painful.
Yep. The old Forrest Gump, the $1 million injury. I got it in the buttocks. Yeah, I watched way too many movies.
Hey, comes in handy when you're broadcasting all the references.
Yep.
Those are two quality films you've referenced tonight, Caddyshack, Forrest Gump.
That one misses inside on Duncan. The count is 2-0.
Day trying to tempt Duncan to chase down and in. Of course, he doesn't want to throw a strike on the lower inner half.
No, we saw what happened Friday night when he got one of those.
But it's not a bad idea to try and make him think it's going to go there and then have him go fishing. But Duncan is not fooled yet. Up 2-0.
Duncan chops this one up the middle here. Day's underneath it. He'll throw to first in time, and that's the ball game. The Barnstormers win this one 2-1. Garrett Day picks up his third save of the week, and the Barnstormers might be the hottest team in the IBL right now.
Yeah, that's 4 wins in a row. They started the season 2-5, and they're now 6-5. couple of tight wins this week, but you got to win the close-scoring games because that's how it's going to be come playoff time. And these Barnstormers were new to the league last year. They underwent a decent amount of personnel change in the offseason, and with a slow start, it was fair to expect that they might have a little bit of a sophomore slump and take a step back, but they have put the league on notice. 4-0 since last Tuesday.
That they have. And, you know, you go back to the third inning, and that's where all the scoring happened, and you look at that ground rule double, and it's like just an unfortunate mishap here.
Oh, yeah. There's no question that the Cardinals deserve better than the one run tonight. They left some runners on, hit into some hard hit outs. They took their walks. They had their good at-bats. But when the chips fell, they were down a run. And, again, that ground rule double, if that ball hit off the wall, then Kikatos would have scored. We'd be tied right now, and we'd be going to extra innings. But that just wasn't to be on this one, and the Barnstormers walk away with the 2-1 victory.
Exactly, they do. Our next home game here on Cable 14 is Friday Night Baseball. Reed Duffy and myself will be back Friday night. The Toronto Maple Leafs in town to take on the Hamilton Cardinals. Game time is 7:30 p.m. And that is going to do it for us tonight. For Matt Creedy, my partner, I'm Neil Sherwaswo. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, wherever you guys are. Down there, the cameras are all over the place. So, yes, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Thanks for watching.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com. Because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.